Hello, Urn Full of Popcorn listeners. This is Timmy Williams with a quick note before the episode starts. So, this is a special episode. We start with about an hour of talking to a young, aspiring filmmaker who shot a no-budget horror movie short film in a town where that doesn't happen, and he's got some interesting things to say. And then we're going to talk about a movie. And during that part of this episode, you'll really notice that Shandy's audio is like crazy. And we didn't know that till after we already recorded 3 hours or whatever. She says it's because a cord was broken or something, but there's a lot of thumping, and so I think it's one of her S&M clients who got tired of waiting in the next room. So, whatever. Enjoy the episode and make your own truth. Love you. Was that Aiden's Rob Thomas t-shirt he's wearing in that one scene?
Yeah, that was just, I just told him, I was like, come to my place in whatever you wear to bed. And it was like probably 11 o'clock, so he probably was just like, all right, on my way. And that's what he showed up in, and I was like, all right, sweet.
No better way to fall asleep than Matchbox 20. Hey, how old are you?
22.
Holy shit. I mean, you knew I was going to say that after you told me your age. So, right. We're old enough to be your parents.
Yes, you are.
Wait, is your dad my age?
He told me he graduated like 3 years before you.
Before me. Okay. So he's probably getting close to 50 then, huh? He's probably 48 or so? Okay.
Yeah.
Word. Okay. And you can hop on video if you want, just so you can be like, oh, wow, this is what happens.
Okay.
I'm Shandi. Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Have you ever listened to our podcast?
A little bit when I first found out about it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Shandi, so Ben, I told you, I taught him very, very briefly when I was a substitute teacher almost 12 years ago. Did your class call me Mario or Mr. Cheeseburger?
I believe we called you Mr. Cheeseburger.
Yeah, because of the spelling thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And I remember you because, and listen, it's okay. I had to tell you to like settle down once or twice, I think.
Yeah, I was a little asshole in elementary school.
No, I didn't think you were an asshole. No, you were nice. It was just like, whoa. I was like, hey, well, because the thing is you were in 5th grade, and 5th graders never stop talking.
Yeah.
Is what I figured out. My favorite classes were 4th and 5th graders were good. 7th and 8th graders, no thank you.
No.
I stayed out of 8th grade because even in 7th grade, I got a little bit of like, oh, you're on that show, which is, you guys were a little too young to know that. So, yeah. Do you know about how, you know that I got fired and stuff, right?
Yeah, I know the kid that got you fired and everything, yeah.
Oh, right. Because I talked to somebody else who like knew that kid. Yeah. It's so dumb. Well, we're not here to talk about that, but it's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. And plus your kids that were in class were like, yeah, he never did anything like, like I was pretty much just some guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, I didn't know you were a international superstar.
Shandi lives in New York, and I want her to get mad about how big that apartment is in your movie.
Okay.
So.
Everything's stupid.
Yeah. Are you wearing a shirt? Well, I know it's really hot there, and it's dark, so I'm like, are you just...
It's hot as shit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, dude, totally. No, we're the only two men who won't bother you today. Because, Ben, I don't know if you know, but in New York, when it's hot and women have to go outside not wearing very much, it's just constant harassment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. The minute it gets hot.
Dude, it's terrible. I got bothered once. Me and my brother Andy were walking down the street, and someone goes, hey, double bit twins!
Probably thought you were sexy.
Well, yeah, because of double bit twins. I mean, hello. So, and we're already recording. I'm already recording. Shandi, you're already recording.
I am too. Yeah.
Ben, you're already recording. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you use to do your sound for your movie? Like edit?
I just had like a little microphone I bought off Amazon. Everything about this was super cheap.
Well, that's great.
Sweet. We like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is. The new episode we're about to drop has a part at the beginning of us introducing ourselves, which we recorded at the end and make that very clear.
Yeah. We talked for like 2 hours, and I went, we didn't even introduce ourselves or say what the hell this is. We just start talking, and then we just kind of forget that we're doing something.
Yeah.
But let's not do that this time. So, this is Earned Full of Popcorn. I'm Timmy Williams, and that's Shand. What's your name?
Shandy Sullivan. Woo!
Earliest time we've ever said our names. But so
Yep.
we're going to talk about a movie like normal, but I also found out about this short film because the person we're going to talk to told me about it. And then I also heard from other people to watch it. And then my brother was like, you guys should do that in an episode. I'm like, oh, you're right. Because I forgot it was a horror movie. So what we're doing is right now we're talking to Ben Griffin, who is from Watertown, just like me, and lives here, just like me. And we have a bizarre connection where in my brief foray as a substitute teacher, Ben was in one of my classes. And then years later, you worked at the grocery store and I saw you, right?
Yep.
And you were the size of a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Do you still work out and stuff?
Yeah, I've got back into it, yes.
Oh, okay, good for you, yeah. Hey, Shandy, this dude's jacked, just so you know. So like, be nice. No, he's like so nice. So then you started messaging me every once in a while about, well, you wanted me to do a podcast or something, and I'm bad at replying and never did it. But we started talking about movies, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess I'll finish introducing what the hell is going on here. So Ben made a half an hour short film completely in Watertown, right? Yeah.
Yep. Everything's in Watertown.
And it's cool, and we're going to talk about it. It's called Box, and we'll have the YouTube clip. And actually, if you search for the terms Box space I-29 space films, you'll find it. But first of all, Ben, good job.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this, because there have been other films shot here. I don't even know when, but short films and things like that. Some guy made a vampire musical here a couple years ago, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah.
Didn't know about that.
You're joining a very short list of people who even know how movies work in Watertown.
Yeah.
Before I moved into this house, I lived only 2 doors down in a duplex. And at one point, my neighbor was this dude from New Jersey who was here for work or something for a year. And he was a big, muscly dude. And he lived in New Jersey, which means he was an extra on The Sopranos at one point.
Oh!
That's what that means.
Yeah, he got to drag out somebody before they shot him in the head or something. He got like a little bit part to play once. And so when he lived in the duplex, and so we're both in the same building, I called that the Hollywood district. Or no, the entertainment district. Because it's like the only, So, and there's a dude from Webster who's been in movies and stuff. And I think he still does independent film in Florida. And then somebody from Watertown who's a bit older than me. I think I've told the story on the pod before, but so he went to Hollywood and he was a good actor and stuff, but what he ended up doing was becoming an associate producer with Wes Craven and did a bunch of stuff with Wes Craven. Yeah. Ben, so when did you start liking horror movies?
Well, so I've always kind of grown up in a big horror family.
Okay.
Every Halloween, it seemed like my dad was going bigger. You know, he had helped with the same haunted house you do. He's done that as long as I can remember. And so I got into that when I was about, I think in 5th grade. So that's how I got into horror is, being around all that Halloween stuff is.
Sure.
I originally loved all the Michael Myers movies and then got into Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, all that. And it wasn't until like recently, like I want to say 2023, when I discovered the art house horror subgenre and kind of got into all that, and then met some people in Sioux Falls that also have a podcast horror related, and I started listening to that and then learned more horror, and so that's kind of how I got big into horror.
Cool. What's the podcast called in Sioux Falls?
Screams from the Basement.
Okay,
Oh,
I should check that out.
I listen to them. That's a great podcast.
You've heard of that?
Yeah.
What? It's from Sioux Falls?
I listen to it. It's great. I know it's from Sioux Falls.
That's crazy. Shandy, Sioux Falls is like 90 miles south of here, so. Anyways, that's awesome. And so when did that become then I want to make movies?
So all throughout high school, my friends and I, we used to do like little improv comedy, like kind of things and put them up on YouTube. It never got more than maybe 60 views, but we had fun doing that. And so while also doing that, I was like, well, God, maybe I want to be an actor. And I kind of got to like about 19, 20 and realized I don't have that actor look. but I still loved the whole craft of filmmaking and stuff. And I fell in love with David Lynch, and so I'd watch all his kind of behind the scenes stuff, and I was like, God, I want to be a director. And so after that, I then started watching clips of like script writing and screenplays, and so I'm kind of all just self-taught through YouTube pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell
yeah. Yeah. Whitest Kids was like that. Well, several of us went to film school. Several of us graduated. One of us dropped out. But the reason I dropped out was to get 100% of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So, I mean, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
That game fucking rules. It's totally understandable.
It does. If you get 100% of Vice City, not everybody knows this because not that many people have the hatred of their own personal time to do this. But you get 100% Vice City, you get 4 like gangster dudes you can go hire to come with you and fuck shit up.
Yes.
There you go. There's a little tip, everybody. That's great. And so you have sent me like a script before that was cool, and we talked about it a little bit. And are you still going to do anything with that? It was about Mormonism or something, right?
Yeah, that was how the Mormons conquered Utah. And I really liked that script. I loved everything. I had it all casted and stuff. The issue is I came to the realization I need money to make that.
Oh.
And I don't have $30K sitting around, and so...
Right. Yeah. You said $30K. Did you figure out that's what you would need, or you just kind of are just saying a number?
Bare minimum, I kind of like estimated in my head, like what's the lowest, I could make this for. And that's including like camera lenses and
sure,
all that stuff. So if we just don't include camera, I probably could make it for way cheaper, but...
Yeah, but still, you want to shoot it. You want it to look good. That's the thing. A lot of people are, just go make a movie. It's like, well, yeah, but you want it to look good.
Exactly.
Then how did this movie happen? Box.
Yeah, I started writing this in November of last year. And kind of what inspired it was I was at like a real super low in my life. Last year was the lowest. I still kind of do struggle with agoraphobia. And what everybody kept telling me, you're from Watertown, so you'll get this, is everybody was like, well, why don't you go pray to God? Why don't you go turn to God and all that stuff? And, and I'm not anti-religion, so I'm not going to bash anything. But I just kind of sat there and I thought, I was like, well, what if I kind of turn this into like something, because I kind of told you through Facebook that this was almost kind of like a bit of me struggling with my own religious identity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I made the box and the figure to be, is almost like an overwhelming pressure that some people are given when they're at a low in life, that it's always, what do you always turn to? You see people, drugs, alcohol, religion. And it seems like that's the big 3.
That's cool, man. And you're totally right about that. And what's cool is because the way your movie is, I'd like to hear what it means to you. And then like, I think people can also just, pull whatever they want, because like the ending, it's like, well, what the hell was that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a good way. And because I'm also into David Lynch, and so we get it.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you, like, because I've been somewhat where you are before. When I was with Whitest Kids, there was 5 of us, and I was never the main creative force behind it. Trevor was, but and Sam to a degree, and then Zach sometimes, but they were the ones who were like, we're going to go shoot on the street and whatever. And so that's what we did. And some of that stuff actually ended up in the show, but a lot of it was exactly what you're doing here, which is like in parking lots and on the streets and like whatever you can do where people can't yell at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
to bother you.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone like me watching, like, well, yes, he's very influenced by David Lynch, but I think at your age and making your first movie, it's like, that's kind of good to like be able to say, like, here's what I like, and like you put it out there, which is cool. So what are your favorite David Lynch movies?
Yeah.
My number one favorite David Lynch, and I'm not going to count Twin Peaks because that's technically a TV show, is Inland Empire.
Oh.
That's my favorite Lynch. I could go on and on about Inland Empire. That's probably the one that, if I had to say of all, kind of influences me through everything I write and everything I want to make moving forward.
I can see that. Especially because you shot this on a digital camera, right?
Yeah. Yes, I shot it on my iPhone.
You shot that on your iPhone?
It looks great.
It does. So what's funny about that is David Lynch would hate that you did that.
I know.
But who cares? Here's the thing, though. And I don't know him, so I can't really speak. But I think he would be down with the fact that you made a movie like this for, with nothing. How much money do you think you spent making this movie?
50 to 100.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Super cheap.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the, I believe, Rwandan film, Who Killed Captain Alex?
Yes, yeah. I have.
Shandy, you know about those?
No.
It's this dude, I forget the guy's name, but he makes action movies in Rwanda for like American be like $85. And it shows. But they're amazing. And that's the thing with your movie too, Ben, is like it doesn't matter the budget and stuff, because I can tell you wanted to make it. Wouldn't you agree, Shandy?
Yeah. It looked amazing.
Thank you.
I think it really does look
it
really
really
good.
did.
Yeah.
Because when you text me, you're like, oh, I have this like short film that you should watch from like this kid I used to teach. First, I forgot that you were a teacher.
Right.
So I went, what? And then I went, okay, cool. Let's watch it and see if we want to talk about it. Because, obviously need to like see it first.
Right.
But it was not what I expected at all. And actually, I've watched it twice. Watched it again right before this.
Me too.
Which I'm glad I did, because there was stuff I noticed the second time watching around that I did in the first time.
Yep.
There were just moments in it where I went, how did you do that? How did you do that? And you talking about it, you made it for hardly any money on your iPhone. So was a lot of it done in editing? Obviously, probably. I'd like to hear more about the editing process.
Yeah. So I might get slapped for this. I used CapCut off the damn App Store.
Hell yeah.
It's a free editing software on my iPhone, and I used that.
Okay, yeah, I know the program. So you edited this on your phone?
Well, originally I was going to use DaVinci on my laptop, and once I started using DaVinci, I was like, I am totally in the blind here. And so I used to make TikTok edits on CapCut. And so I was like, well, I know that. And so I just went into CapCut, and 2.5 weeks later, I finished editing.
Well, and that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
You were just like, I want to make a movie, and here's how I know how to do it. So you did it, is what it sounds like to me. So that's great. Do you use anything special to type your script out?
Yeah, it's some free website that I found Googling through Reddit, seeing like free screenplay softwares, because I'm broke and don't have money, and didn't want to pay for a software.
Yeah, Reddit to the rescue.
Totally, man.
Always.
Final Draft's expensive. And yeah, somewhat unnecessary anymore. But which I don't know. We don't need to be careful yet about talking smack on things. I don't think any big film people listen yet. Speaking of, Ben, I want you to know that you are the second horror director that we've had as a guest on this podcast.
Ooh.
The other one is Zach Kreger.
Oh, I'm in an elite class then.
Yeah. And what's very funny is like opposite ends of the spectrum, and that's cool. Because, I mean, Zach was doing this sort of thing with me when we were your age, mid-20s, 6 years ago. So, a long fucking time ago. What, 20? Let's see. It's 24, 23. Yeah. Anyways, a long time ago. Now you've shot one movie. Like, if you are out and about in Watertown and tell people you made a movie, what do they say next, or how do they react?
So, it's weird. Some people think it's the most interesting thing on the planet, and then other people are just kind of okay.
That's great.
Yeah, it's especially around Watertown. It's almost kind of like, okay, get a job. It's
totally.
That's what it seems like around here.
Sure. And it took me a while to come to grips with this, but it's not here. So people don't know what it is or how it works. And like, when I would tell them about Whitest Kids, some guys would be like, oh, so you guys just kind of came up with funny stuff and just did it. It's like, well, no, because it's like when we come up with a submarine sandwich sketch, for instance, you think we just had sailor suits and a submarine set? So people don't always understand how it works, and that's okay. Because I'll tell you, people on both coasts, there's a lot they don't understand about the Midwest, right, Shandi?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. I'm from the Midwest too.
yeah,
I
and
get
she's
it.
been in New York for a long time now, but yeah, dude. And you know, but you're right. Sometimes people it just doesn't register what it is. Like I've told people stuff like, yeah, I have a show with someone who was on America's Next Top Model. Yeah, I've met Steve Zahn came up and told me he was a fan. I met Kate Blanchett. Dustin Hoffman acknowledged our existence once at an award show. Just different crazy things. And people are just like, like they just don't even understand what that means, which is fine. I don't care. But it's just, it's interesting. I mean, when you live somewhere like this and you're into things that we are, you feel like you're almost like, at least I do. You tell me what you think, but I feel like I'm like living in a slightly different plane of reality, or maybe I speak a different language. Cause like a lot of things I'll relate to, like, oh yeah, you know, just like, because I'm not religious either. And so my spirituality comes from movies and comic books.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and it's just so my angle is a little different, but
same.
yeah. So anyways, well, that's cool. And I'm really glad that you did this. And so Ben, I want to ask you more questions about making the movie too, but Shandi, what do you got? You got any questions about the making of this?
Well, a lot of it was the like the production and the editing and everything. I was really intrigued by the music choices too.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about why you chose certain songs and things like that?
Yeah. So, the chase scene, I found that song because the same symphony that made that for the chase scene did the nuke explosion for Twin Peaks.
Ah, okay.
I could tell that. Okay.
Yeah. And so I found that, and that was later in the thing, and I was like, God, I'm going to use that, and might be copyrighted. I haven't ran into an issue yet, so we'll see.
So did you have an idea what you wanted while you were writing it, of the type of music you wanted, or was it something that happened like during filming and after and during editing and things like that?
I know when he first opens the box, when I was writing that, I knew right away, I was like, I want like a choral thing like that you would hear in a church. And so I searched and I couldn't find anything. And it was when I was finally editing it. There's this album, it's called like Caretaker. And it goes through all the levels of dementia. And one of the things that they sampled was like I think it's like a Russian choir. And I found the original sample for that, and it was just perfect. It was that nice little choir that I needed. And I was like, all right, perfect. So that's one I knew I wanted when I was writing, but didn't find the perfect fit until I finished.
Okay. And what was that song when it's the black and white close-up shot of just the face with the mouth opening and the light coming through the mouth?
Yeah.
What is that song? It's so good.
I think that's Lonesome Town.
Lonesome Town. Okay.
Yeah, I had found like a super slowed and reverbed thing on it, and one of my friends was like, you should fit this in, this is spooky. And I listened to it and I was like, yeah, I have this scene where I open my mouth and we go into my mouth, and so I was like, we can use it there.
It made me kind of teary-eyed a little bit, honestly, because it was so jarring, the image, and the song is super creepy.
Yeah.
And Timmy had told me that you like David Lynch, and so it kind of did make me a little emotional, where I went, David Lynch, this is so
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's yeah.
It was great.
Did you have something in your mouth, Ben, for that? Because it looks like you're taking something out of your mouth.
It was cool.
Yeah, I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought like these 99-cent finger lights. Okay. And that's actually what the orb is at the end too. I just painted the whole entire body black except for the tip. And so in that was a red, a blue, a white, and a green. And I knew I wanted the green for the orb because it's my favorite color. And we have that white one, and I was like, well, that might look good in the black and white. And of course, I don't have like a monitor to see what everything looked like. So I just kind of played a guessing game, and I don't know, I thought it came out looking fine.
It's a really cool image.
Well, thank you.
It looks cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely gets across, and obviously, Eraserhead, and then that one episode of The Return. Maybe not the 8 one, but the later on, maybe it is 8. I don't know. The floating heads stuff.
I know.
Very much,
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that. I think it's cool that, what's cool is that you took that as inspiration, because especially when you hear someone made a movie in Watertown, South Dakota, the last inspiration you expect to see on the screen, it would be David Lynch. Am I right, Shandi, about that? Probably. You know what I mean?
Well, I know you from Watertown, so.
Oh, right. So you don't know other people here. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, I do now, and the other person also likes David Lynch, so now I just associate it with people in Watertown.
I could just tell you that besides the two of us and my daughter, you're getting towards the end of the list. But well, that kind of sort of brings up another question I want to ask is, so the other people in the movie and the people that you made it with, so they're all dudes from here, right?
Yes, correct. Everybody else in here were just people I went to high school with. And
so are they into movies and stuff? Like, did they get what you were doing, or are they just kind of like, yeah, we'll do it because we like Ben?
Yeah, I mean, probably the latter.
Yeah.
I know before we filmed it, I kind of sat down and I was like, all right, I just want you guys to know that this is very David Lynch inspired. And I was like, if you guys want to check out anything, I recommend checking out Eraserhead and Inland Empire, because that's kind of where I'm drawing some inspiration from this. And now whether if they watched it or not, I can't tell. But I know I've always told them, like, the main guy in it, Aiden, I'm constantly sending him film recommendations. Like, I'm also a big Tarkovsky fan. I'm a big Lars von Trier fan. Okay. I love all those kind of artsy guys, and I'm always sending him, like, especially because he wants to be an actor. I can't speak for acting because, I'm not an actor, but especially for directing, I'm like, the best thing I discovered was just watching films that you normally wouldn't. Like, because you watch a lot of Hong Kong and spaghetti westerns, and you start to see, like, okay, that's where Tarantino got all of his inspiration from. And so I think the most vital thing you can do as like a filmmaker or wannabe filmmaker is just watching movies. And so I'm always recommending them to people. Yeah,
that's great. That is how, I mean, Tarantino acquired his skills through working at a video store and watching stuff. So so it makes sense. And our new episode we're about to drop has me doing would you say a completely spot on Tarantino impression?
I was just going to say, are you going to do your Tarantino?
But yeah, that's awesome. So being a South Dakotan from Eastern South Dakota, I see last names in the credits. I'm like, oh, because Raggles, Wellnitz, those are names that are from here. And that's pretty much it. And so Aiden Raggles is the guy that plays David, the main character?
Yep.
Okay. First of all the acting is better than it should be. And I thought
then it should be.
When he opens the box, I thought his reactions were really good.
Oh, he was great.
Fear, laughing, crying.
Yes. I told him, I was like, if there's any scene where you're going to need to act your heart off, it's this one. And I originally wasn't going to mute it because I wanted almost like an ambience, but we did 2 or 3 takes and we just couldn't get it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk you through this, and which as a director, I probably should have done the first 3 times, and so we were talking and I would tell him, I'm like, all right, now I want you, little rated R here. I'm like, I want you to think of like an orgasm, and so then he would start to get like that. And then I'm like, now drop it, like, now think of like dead puppies. And so we would just kind of keep that going back and forth. And then until we did that 4th take. And I was like, I think we got it. So
I have to think of dead puppies to get an orgasm. So it's
yeah.
When you said R-rated, it's like, oh, I would worry about that. R is going up for us. But they did a great job. And then, of course, to the Colonels, that's what we call our fans, or whoever else is listening, go watch this, and we'll put up the link and stuff. It's a half an hour. You have a half an hour. Everybody does. Put down fucking Facebook and watch something that somebody made and they cared about. And I think plot-wise, it's we don't need to talk about it, really, but it's a dude needs a box, and he buys a box, and then he's told that it's somehow connected to God, and it goes from there. Right? That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
I do have one. Well, okay, it's a comment and question. I'm one of those assholes from Q&As they do at Comic Con. It's like, oh, I have a question. More of a comment, actually. I've never seen a girl naked. Anyways, so okay, the phone when he's texting the dude about the box towards the beginning of the film. What I liked, so you have the phone in night mode, and then it's on this black blanket, so it's all black, and then you just have an unrecognized phone number texting this guy. And I just thought it made it creepy, even though it's just a couple text messages.
Yeah. Yeah. And we actually had my sister texting him.
Oh.
And I gave her the whole thing. And I'm like, I want you to copy and paste this because I want you to text back like unnecessarily quick.
Yes.
I want it to kind of seem like a little like, okay, that's odd. I didn't want that text bubble to be up for too long. And so I thought she did a perfect job with that, is just sending back those messages fast. That's the one thing I wanted, because I was like, I feel like that would build a great ambience and maybe spook people.
Yeah, I think one thing your movie's good at is creating dread. And what's the other word? Shandy, do you know any words? I mean, I know you know words, but about what's the other one? Not dread, but just I don't know, fear, but kind of like I don't know. I guess I'll just stick with dread. But I mean, it's
creepy.
It is really creepy. I mean, like
so
something a little more like
creepy.
It is really creepy, and
I don't like just like a guy being there that the person doesn't know that they're there.
Oh. Dude.
And I noticed him more this time than I did the first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He's there. I didn't.
And the fact that dude also texts back really fast even makes him worse. Because that is weird. And I think everybody knows that now, So it's interesting to me, being kind of an old fart as far as this kind of stuff goes. The idea of having a text message be creepy is foreign to me. Twin Peaks: The Return does it a couple times, but to me, it's just like, oh wow, that is kind of creepy. But let's talk about the guy. So who is that guy?
So his name is Austin Wellnitz.
Oh, that's the Wellnitz. Okay.
Yep. He's, I think, 4 years younger than me, so I never went to high school with him.
There's people younger than you?
Yeah. Shockingly. All I was told was, there's this kid that's acting at Town Players. He's like, I think he's 6'6", just a huge dude. And I ran into him. He works at a grocery store here in town. And so I saw the guy working, and I just was like, God, I need to get you in a movie. And he was like, yeah, whenever, man. And
hell yeah.
I got him in a movie. And I knew, because when I was writing it, I was like, all right, I want this figure. And it didn't occur to me that I was like, well, this is almost like the tall guy in Twin Peaks.
Oh, the giant?
Yeah, the giant. I was like,
okay,
because how he like kind of, I shouldn't spoil, but like how he kind of haunts Cooper a little bit, and I was like, well, I guess this is kind of what it's like, but less of like a vigilante and more as like a deity, like an evil spirit.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever watched any Phantasm movies?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, you have to, because I love that shit.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
Did you watch the first Phantasm? Because it also has that. It's like, in ways, it's a more traditional horror movie, but also there's a very creepy existentialist kind of thing to it. And the villain of the series is a very tall man. And the actor even had a great name. His real name was Angus Scrim. But he's just tall, and he just like shows up places like that. And I love that. And one of my favorite shots of all time in any horror movie, and I think maybe we talked about it, but is in the original Halloween, is the girls are walking down the street, and you just see Michael Myers in the background walk out from behind a hedge. And he stands there for a while and then walks back.
No.
Did you, because you said you liked Michael Myers movies from a very young age, and I know you didn't mean Austin Powers, you meant the Halloween movies, right? So
yeah.
So was that kind of thing in your head at all when you were putting this kid in the shots?
I did kind of like that, because they always kind of referred to Michael Myers as the Shape, and the Shape who stalks. And so that's kind of, especially in the scene when David's going for his night walk, when I have him kind of hidden in the stop sign, kind of by the trees, that's kind of what I thought of, was a little bit of Michael Myers, is kind of just how he stands and stalks a bit.
Yeah, that's great. That's in front of my parents' church, by the way, Shandi. It's like 6 blocks from here.
That's so crazy.
How many shots is Austin in? Because I bet there's others I didn't notice.
I don't want to point them out. I know he's in 6 for sure, and
okay,
like I think 4 of them are like blatantly in the open.
Okay.
And
I gotta
there's
watch
a couple
it again.
others. Yeah. There's a couple others that I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm not sure everybody's found him. It's almost like a little Easter egg hunt.
Fun.
For sure, man. And I have the benefit that a lot of people watching this maybe don't, but I watched this on my television. So big.
Yeah, I did too the second time. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So the kitchen, Austin, that's great.
Oh.
When he's about to throw the box away and doesn't, that Austin, fucking terrifying.
Yes.
I loved that.
I don't know a whole lot of people that have noticed that yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because on a phone or something it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When we were blocking that, I had my house super dark and I had strung up Christmas lights because I was like, I feel like this will make it just, I don't know, creepy, but I'm like, I just kind of like the light. And I'm like, I'm just going to move you back. And it got to the point where you can really only see the white here. And I was like, that is perfect. And so I thought that was just so beautiful. And then I got to grading the scene and it got even darker. And I was like, all right, this is even better.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, man. What were the guts made out of?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
I actually borrowed them from one of the people from the haunted house.
Nice.
Awesome.
They're actually just sitting on my floor right now because I've been too lazy to return them. But I don't know what they're made out of, but he went to some like special effects haunted house kind of called Trans World in St. Louis, and he bought just a bunch of guts for all the haunted house rooms, and I had hit him up and I was like, hey, can I borrow the guts? He's like, yeah, man. And it probably looks super sketchy to the neighbors. I went to his place and he handed me this big ass bag of guts and I just took them and that's what we used.
That's funny. So Shandi, Ben is Art the Clown at the Haunted Mall. But he's more built than Art the Clown. So it's like, what if Art the Clown got swole?
Yeah.
Which is scary. That's scary to think about. And the other like filmmaking thing I wanted to ask was when his head hits the curb.
Oh, the sound.
And Shandi and I have been talking about head hits curbs for like 4 fucking episodes in a row now, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. The fucking sound is so good.
Yeah. So what's the sound?
The sound is, and I might get flack for this again, it's just a free sound effect I found on SoundCloud.
Cool.
Why not, man?
As I said, all of this was super cheap, and my search history probably looks grim because I was like head hitting curb sound effect, head smack count effect. Like I'm like, it probably looks super awful to like the FBI or something.
Right. And then just like orchestra music and like dark bassy whooshing like that you put over a lot of it.
Yeah, they probably think I'm doing some real Red Room shit or something.
Yeah, totally. But the shot too, like, did you do that backwards or how'd you do that? Because it looks like he hits his head on the curb.
It really does.
Yeah, so what we did was we had him lay flat with his head on the curb there. And I was like, now give me your hands. And I just pulled him up. And then in post, I just reversed the clip and then cut it super short and made it go to black. Because I actually saw like a shot tutorial in like 2024 on TikTok for like that same exact thing that some guy was doing for his short film. And so I just thought back to that when we were drawing up, shot stuff. And I was like, well, let's do that. That was easy. And I thought it looked cool.
Looks fucking awesome. I went, oh.
Yeah, and I think it works. And the very, very quick cut too is just quick enough to make you be like, well, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't linger at all. So you're like, well, what? So I thought that was very well done. And so Shandi, to give some connotation, I texted you this earlier, but so in those scenes in that parking lot. That is in front of the senior center where my dad was probably inside playing snooker when you were shooting. And Empire Pizza is around here a legendary pizza place. It's been around for 50 years probably, and they make great pizza. The thing about Empire is, I bet you know this, Ben, you don't order the normal crust at Empire. You order thin, right?
Yep.
Every time. And they do Chicago cut, which means it's cut into squares. And it's really good. And they've been around for a long time.
The first time we filmed, the manager thought we were tagging up their building.
Oh, no.
Because we came out with milk crates for the guys to sit up. And so she comes out and she's like, what the fuck are you guys? And I had to be like, no, we're cool. I'm like, I'm an independent filmmaker. Like, she probably thought I was the dumbest person on earth.
That's so funny.
She finally was like, well, don't touch my fucking building. And then she went back and she was super nice about it afterwards. Then she was like, I hope I didn't come up. And I was like, no, I actually felt super bad that I didn't call ahead of time. But yeah, I thought that was a little funny.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. And Shandi, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's one or two night shots where he's walking in a neighborhood. Don't see this in New York. There's residential blocks that do not have a curb. So that's pretty. That's what I like, man. It's there's some real South Dakota shit in there. Also, I wrote down it's very South Dakota male to not go to the doctor when you absolutely should.
Yep.
And drive
Yep,
yourself.
yes,
I was like, why is he
Yeah.
driving himself?
So good. And also he did a great job shoving all that crap in his mouth.
Yeah.
I would have complained. Ask Zach. I would have complained so much. Because I did complain. When I had to put stuff in my mouth, there's a sketch in season 2 where I played Marie Antoinette and I bleed out the mouth. I complained because it tastes gross. And I was like, this tastes gross. So like, just fucking do it. I'm like, okay. But yeah. Yeah. But dude, this is very cool. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Because I think this is a very awesome thing for someone to make, especially from around here. But Shandi, you got anything else you want to ask Benjamin?
What are some of your favorite horror movies that you've seen recently?
God, recently?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're horror. I've been watching a lot of those old kaiju movies. Bunch of the old monster movies. I don't know if those are like specifically horror.
Sure, they're monsters.
Yeah, I've kind of been diving into it's a film movement from France. It's New French Extremity.
Oh yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, because I like everybody else. Sometimes I like to watch gory, nasty shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll turn on that. There's this one called Inside, and it's about like a home invader that tries to steal a pregnant woman's baby. And the whole time I was watching it, and it's actually my Letterboxd review, was, God, this is what Republicans think abortion is. And so that's actually my review. I was like, well, that's perfect. And so I kept it in my brain the whole entire time.
Right.
That's
Which
amazing.
You're right. You're totally right. Have you now? Of course, you've been working on this. It eats your life a little bit. So, but have you seen any new horror movies you were really into? You don't have to say weapons.
Yeah, no. I hope if Zach listens, he doesn't kill me. I bought a bootleg on VHS because I thought it was so cool.
Hell yeah,
sorry,
on
Zach.
VHS.
Yeah.
Cool.
Weapons was sick. I mean, I love everything he's put out so far.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Miss March, but I will one day.
Don't worry about it. Anyways.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
Right after I edited this and finished editing, the new Backrooms movie came out, and I went out and watched that and freaking loved it. And of course, this is lukewarm, but I also loved Obsession.
I haven't seen it.
It's really
Yeah.
good. That's a really
I
good
need
one.
to see it.
So you're probably of the right age for Backrooms.
Yeah, I remember when it blew up online on like Reddit and stuff back when I was in high school, and
Sure.
so like 6 or 7 years later for it to finally be a movie and the director to be my age too. I'm like, that's freaking nuts.
It was interesting to me too because it's the first time my daughter's gotten into something that I had no idea about. And a lot of times, especially with movies, my influence is there, but not this time. She heard about it from friends around the internet, whatever. She went and saw it the first time without me, with some other people. and then was like, I want to take you to it. So that's what we did. So that was really cool, And I think this is important for a kid to have too, is to be into something that your parents don't quite understand. And I really like the movie, but there is that thing where it's like, she was explaining some of the lore stuff to me, and but it is really cool and really creepy. And another movie that uses a big guy looming in the background of things to be terrifying.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Their big guy had to be like special effects and stuff, and yours is just literally a big guy. So
yeah, mine's just a dude.
Just some guy. I love that use, though. I mean, the thing is that you really... And, it's a movie you had to shoot in parking lots, so you did. And you still, like, have some cool stuff happening there. And, having this big guy stand in the background is free. You used your resources right, I feel like,
Yeah.
And I know that you want to use this to maybe get some eyeballs on it and maybe do more stuff or maybe get into film school. And I hope that happens, man.
Thank you.
I want you to do more stuff, not just so I can be in it, but so I want to see you keep doing it.
Yeah. Thank you.
But if you want to kill me off in the first 30 seconds of your next horror movie, do it.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's gory.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll keep that.
But don't put anything in my mouth.
I was gonna say, make him put stuff in his mouth.
Yeah, I'll make you stuff nuts in your mouth.
The whole time he's in the movie, he always has something in his mouth.
I want 20 different takes too. I need.
Yeah. Shandy, shut up. But you. Shandy, do you have anything else for Ben?
No, I think that was it. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I'm glad Timmy suggested it, and I'm glad you're here and making films, and I'm excited to see what else you do, honestly.
Thank you.
We'll keep an eye on this one. What's your favorite Empire pizza?
Oh God, I'm blanking. It has sauerkraut, black olives, and sausage on it. I can't remember what it's called, but that one's my favorite one.
Sounds good. Empire Pizza is great, Shandy. If you ever visit, that's where we'll go. Actually, it's weird that Watertown has two amazing pizza places. It's weird. My last girlfriend was from Rhode Island, which I didn't know till I went there, is pretty much Italy. It was so much more Italian than New York or New Jersey. It's crazy. And so she came here and we got Dempsey. She's like, why is this pizza fantastic? I'm like, I don't know. But it is. And Empire is too. Anyways, well, Ben, thanks so much for hanging out, man. And so your dad's okay if we swear because we did swear. So, right? I don't have to bleep that out?
No, my dad will be fine.
You said you used to watch Whitest Kids.
Yeah, he used to watch Whitest Kids.
So he's like warped. All right, good. Cool. Well, yeah. Well, thanks so much, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Box, and obviously we can find that on YouTube. And if somebody wants to find out more about you, how do they do that? Is there a way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram. I-29 Entertainment is the film company, or just Griff_cinema is my Instagram. Of all social medias, I'm a lot more active on Letterboxd. So it's
hell yeah.
Same as my Instagram, but yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was cool. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you suggested it.
Yeah. Should we count that as our discussion of that movie, or is there anything else you want to say about it with him not here? Like, oh my God, that was so fucking horrible.
It really wasn't. It was so good.
It was good.
Holy moly. And the second time around, we were talking about that the man in black is in it more than I've noticed. He said 6 times? I feel like there was only 3 times I noticed. Him by the stop sign, him in the kitchen in the house.
Yeah. And then standing by the pizza place when the electricity
by
starts.
the pizza place. Then where are the other 3?
I don't know.
Fuck, I'm about to watch it again.
I think what I'll do is watch it again, and I'll turn the brightness way up on the TV.
The other shot that was cool, well, it starts off with the guy leaning over and the butt crack sticking out.
Yeah.
And then he comes up.
Yeah.
And then the man in black, and it just got the static kind of shit. It was so good and creepy.
Yeah. And there's a shot when he's walking. Yeah, it was. It was very cool. And there's a shot when he's walking somewhere outside, and it's night, and there's like lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, how'd that work out? He's like, that was just a happy accident. And
wow. So it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. And it was like, kind of happens at the right time of the story for there to be like foreboding. Foreboding! That's the word I was trying to think of. Foreboding weather. But yeah. But isn't that cool? It's cool to talk to someone who is from, I don't know, what was it, 2 generations behind us? 1? There's like, that wants to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he seems really passionate about it too. I felt bad that he said he's not actor type. Like, yeah, you are. Everyone's an actor type.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I have that look. I'm like, what about Abe Vigoda? You know, what about like, there's people who like, it's like, you're better looking than a lot of actors. It's fine. Just get out there, young man. Go forth.
I love that he did all of that on CapCut. Like,
that's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's some good shots and good editing and stuff. Like I said, the head hitting the curb was a good edit, And like he said, I mean, that is something, you watch movies and pay attention. And like he said, I think it is very important to watch stuff out of your comfort zone. Because then before too long, that is your comfort zone. Like I found myself in the last week wanting to watch, just having this taste of wanting to watch weird subversive stuff. Not necessarily horror, but just like stuff that's like kind of disturbing. Like I watched Natural Born Killers and I watched both Freeway movies. Tonight I'll probably watch Bad Lieutenant. That kind of thing. Have you ever seen Bad Lieutenant?
I love that movie. It's so good.
Dude, when he's partying with the hookers and then it kind of does a jump cut to him like naked and crying. It's like, oh my God. And there's rumors like in the scene where he shoots heroin and they're like, it's water. And there's rumors like, that was not water. Like Harvey Keitel fucking shut up. So, I don't know.
Wow.
Well, this continues to be urn full of popcorn because I don't know where I put everything. So we'll say it again. You're drinking Gatorade. Are you still keeping cool over there?
Can you tell the humidity on this bottle?
Yeah, look at that. Drippy.
Yeah, that's how humid it is.
Yeah, oh my God. She says it's okay. I know, it just makes me feel bad because it sucks. I know how much it sucks.
What sucks?
Oh, I was just saying that she inherited my canker sore genes.
I know.
And I was just saying, I feel bad about it. And she heard me say that. She goes, it's okay, Dad, from somewhere. I'm like, okay, well, it just sucks, Just because I know that it sucks, I know that it sucks. So it sucks to have things suck.
Yeah, they hurt, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And when she was in production, I was like, I kind of had a list figured out of which genes I want her to get from me and which from her mom. All mouth stuff, her mom, because I had like crooked teeth and stuff too, so yeah. But I have pretty good skin. So I was like, my skin, mom's mouth, definitely my brain. But yeah.
Yeah, too bad you can't choose those things yet.
Some people can. Well, can you choose all that though? You can't choose all that. You know what though?
Not
honestly,
which genes you get.
Now that we think about it, I wouldn't. I don't think I would want to do that. I mean, yes, if it was possible to like help her not have canker sores or this or that, sure, but like, I wouldn't want to do anything that wouldn't. Like, I want her to be the person she's supposed to be, and I don't want to have any weird altering of that. I don't want to be able to alter that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I wanted to have a child enter the world and then help them become a good person. I don't want to, like, be involved in the construction of that. Well, the involvement that I had in the construction is as far as I want it to be.
I was going to say, didn't you have part in it?
That was great, but okay, how cute was it that Ben's like, sorry, I have to get R-rated here. I was like, R-rated?
You have no idea. He definitely has not listened to a lot of this podcast.
Right. Like I said, the communist horror podcast. Yeah, so anyways. But so the other thing we did is we decided to watch Ben's movie box and liked it and talked to him, and that was cool. The other thing we did is we watched The Invisible Man. I don't even know. Sometimes there's a why for what we do, and sometimes there's not. And did we have a specific reason for watching this? We did Frankenstein about 6 months ago, but
and then we were supposed to do this for you.
Is this what this was? Yeah?
Yeah.
We were supposed to do it back then? Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I'm glad we did it.
But you know what's crazy is, so we did Frankenstein, and we were supposed to do The Invisible Man. And that's exactly what happened back then for these two movies.
Yes,
is that they were supposed to do The Invisible Man after Dracula, and then they didn't do it, and they did Frankenstein instead. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I was reading about it. It's fascinating. And James Whale, who did direct this, and directed Frankenstein, A Bride of Frankenstein, and Old Dark House, and he's a horror legend, But so he was attached to this like 3 or 4 different times. And back and forth over the years. And Boris Karloff was supposed to originally be the Invisible Man. And the script was totally different too, it sounds like. But yeah, then they were able to finally make it the way they made it. So yes, it is kind of funny that it matches up with that. I also found another thing that makes it even weirder that we are talking about it right now, because I wanted to get this out in the first part of July. That was always my goal, okay? So Gloria Stewart, who plays the love interest in this movie, I already forgot her name.
Flora,
thank you. So Gloria Stewart, who plays Flora, the main love interest, or I guess you could say love interest, or I don't know, not really. Gloria Stewart, who plays Flora, who's the Invisible Man's girlfriend, is really all you can say. Her birthday's July 4th. So there you go. And you know what her other big famous role is? She plays Old Rose in Titanic.
Whoa!
Yeah. But, yeah, so The Invisible Man, and it was made in 1933, and as we just said, it was supposed to come out even earlier, and, yeah, a lot of drama behind the scenes of, like, back and forth getting it made.
Yeah, I'm shocked it eventually did get made. Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? And, like, just very briefly was looking at, like, the different scripts. Like, every script was, like, it wasn't like a little bit different. Every script was like different. There was one where he was going to be like Russian or something. So I don't know. But the film we did get is The Invisible Man. And it is based on, of course, a very famous book by H.G. Wells, The Invisible Man. And I wanted to read it before we did this and did not. And it's not like it's hard to read like Frankenstein. I'm just dumb and didn't get to it. But I think the main difference is that in the book, he's not driven crazy by chemicals, but he's still like a bad guy.
It doesn't cause him to go manic and mad.
Right. Oh, but here's another weird thing. So the main character's name is Jack Griffin. Well, that's also Ben's last name, who we just talked to.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's random. That's weird. That's weird.
And all the names.
But so it's a pretty simple plot. A guy is invisible.
The end.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I forgot is that when it starts, he's already invisible.
Oh, yeah.
We don't actually see him, pun intended, become the Invisible Man. He's invisible the whole time. And they do mention how it happened. And actually what I love is the kind of biggest, what you would call exposition dump in the movie, is Invisible Man like giving this crazy mad megalomaniac monologue mentioning the chemicals and how it worked and all that stuff. Yeah. When was the last time you watched this?
Damn. Long time ago. Definitely over 20 years ago.
Oh wow, okay. I watched it a couple years ago, maybe.
So I totally forgot about that. He just starts off right away.
Yeah. I forgot that it's monocaine, which, is that a real thing? I can't remember. I bet it is. Maybe it's not. But is that like super cocaine? Oh, monocaine. It is real.
Yeah, it was in a plant, right?
Yeah, it's a local anesthetic, so I'm sure it's related to, benzocaine and cocaine and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so there's a number of chemicals that he mixes together that he was trying to create an invisibility potion, right? Like, that's what he wanted to do. And he did it. But so that's all stuff we find out later. Basically, it just starts with this guy wrapped up in bandages walking down the street and in the cold. And then he goes to a bar. And God damn, in these old movies, the bar. It's great. You know what I mean?
I love the pretend piano player guy and the guy sitting in front of the coin where you put the coin in to hide it.
Yeah.
So great.
So good. And it's got even the best name, the Lion's Head. It just goes right up there with like the slaughtered lamb from, Werewolf in London and all that stuff, which I'm sure was hugely influenced by this. But yeah, always the pubs. I wrote, like, I wish dive bars were still like this instead of like racing shirts and Nickelback.
It looks so cool because they also have like an inn too. So it's like,
Yeah.
you get too drunk, you don't want to go home, you just get a room upstairs and they can bring you food and
Yeah.
everything. Perfect.
Yeah. And from what I can understand, it's pretty much their house. And that's what a lot of those old school inns are. And that's why a lot of times it wasn't the bartender, it's the landlord and landlady is what they would call those people.
I love that lady. She's...
Yeah.
She gets hysterical.
Dude, so good. The landlady, Jenny. I mean, that's the thing, too, is this movie is funny. And I think they do... there's definitely scary, creepy things. Like, the invisible guy's creepy. Like, it's a creepy thing, and I think they do some good creepy stuff with it. But it's also really funny. Like, everyone in the bar is hilarious, basically. Right? And, yeah. And, I mean, these movies are just so good at immediately setting the tone. Like, that first shot, it's dark and it's snowy. You have this mysterious figure with sunglasses on in the dark and bandages all over his face. It's like, it immediately sets this weird, mysterious tone. And then here's, like, this bar, you know? They're just so good at that. And it, like, took, like, 2 seconds. And the piano gag is great. And I feel like I want to explain it a little bit because it's just wonderful. So it cuts into the bar and there's piano music playing and people drinking like any bar scene in an old movie. And then when it cuts to the guy playing piano, then he stops. And then his friend sitting next to it, you notice there's a quarter slot on it, and he puts money into it, and it starts playing before the guy can go back and keep faking it, because it turns out he was faking it the whole time. And everybody laughs, and they love it. Like, everybody laughs about that for, like, a long time. It's so good. It's so funny. And then, of course, he comes in. This guy, which obviously is going to turn out to be the Invisible Man. And that's like another classic movie bar where everything stops.
Who's the stranger?
Mm-hmm. Interrupting our good time and our piano bit.
It's a really pretty close-up of him.
Like when he first walks into the bar?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw like in the beginning when they're doing, this is who's in it, blah, blah, blah.
The credits?
Yeah, my brain just totally farted. What is it? What is it when they say who directed it?
You know, when they have the "this is who in it" words. Anyways, what's up?
I don't know if you noticed, but it said the Invisible One.
Yeah, Claude Rains, the Invisible One.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, if you remember right, like Frankenstein had some weird, interesting things like that too. Like I believe, didn't they just give him a question mark credit instead of the actor's name at one point?
Yeah, they didn't say it was Boris Karloff. They just put the question mark.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Wow. And then, something that you brought up in the Frankenstein episode, there's the guy that looks like my grandpa, Carl Laemmle Jr., involved again. And last episode, and actually in our talk with Ben, we mentioned Backrooms and Frankenstein. Well, here's another young person, right? Because he was very young when he was producing these films, right?
Yeah, wow.
I remember you researched a little bit. Wasn't he like 20 or something when he did these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 1920, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I felt like the music had a little bit of Danny Elfman to it, especially in the credits.
Mm-hmm.
The bouncy doom kind of thing. And obviously this was made way before that. I don't even know if Danny Elfman was alive yet, but well, no, probably not, because I don't think he's 90 now. So he's like 60 something, maybe 70.
Man, he is buff and covered in tattoos at the tender old age of 90.
Yeah. Well, which happens. He's 73. Okay, so this is 20 years before he was a person. But so I did look up who did the music. It's Heinz Rohmheld. Well, I mean, I didn't look it up. It's in the credits. But so I have to think that maybe he was inspired by that, because all these Universal movies very much informs, I think, not only Elfman's music, but, you know, he was partnered with Tim Burton for so very long. And obviously Tim Burton was very inspired by all this stuff, you know, so. The Invisible Man, obviously we know that's what's going to be. He comes in and he demands a room, and she's like, well, we don't have a room. You know, we have rooms in the summer, but we don't really have anything ready right now. Then he goes, you can get one ready. And she's like, oh yeah, I can get one.
He's so fucking mean to her.
Yeah. And I almost thought it was like a Jedi mind trick. Because he was like, you can get one ready. I can get one ready. But you're right, the close-up on his face, it is an immediately iconic look, because, you know, you think about the Universal monsters, everyone else is a monster face. You know, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Creature, the Black Lagoon, the Wolfman, you know, the Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, all monster faces. This is just some guy, and you can't even see him. So the fact that just a couple of bandages and a fake nose and the goggles are just as iconic as all these movie monsters, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, those sunglasses I need those. Those are cool ass fucking sunglasses.
Yeah, and they keep calling them goggles, so maybe they're a little more goggly. But no, but he puts them on like glasses, right? Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, but got like the side panel thing.
Yeah, they look like cans. They're really cool. The other interesting thing about this is, of course, he's invisible, whatever, but the fucking cojones on this guy. Like, he walks in here, demands they put him up, and then he doesn't pay for it. Like, we find out, like, what is it, weeks later, he still hasn't paid the rent. And what else does he do? There's something else where it's like, oh my God, the gumption.
Bring me food.
Yeah, just like, bring me food, do this, do that, and just kind of, I can't remember where I wrote down, but, oh yeah, besides being invisible, you gotta have some balls to just walk into people's houses and threaten their lives, because he does that later. He just like goes on some guy's house like, I'm gonna kill you, so you better listen to me. And it's like, the guy can't even see you. You know what I mean? It's like, besides your superpower, you also have to be like a really arrogant dickhead. Right?
Yeah, he's a really nasty individual.
Yeah. And we do find out that one of the chemicals, like we said, monocaine, is actually driving him crazy, because we found out from another character later, they tested it on a dog that turned all white. And I think they say the dog went crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that the Invisible Man, whose name is Jack did not know that, because Jack only got his research from English research papers, and Flora's dad is a doctor, and he's saying the German papers are the only ones that mention that it also makes you go crazy. So Jack didn't know that it was going to drive him nuts. The mention of the dog turning white is interesting, because in the book, when he dies, his body comes, you know, visible again, and he's albino. Yeah, so I can't remember if in the book it's probably is that the chemical actually like does that, because it makes sense if you're testing to turn yourself invisible. It makes sense that something to ruin the pigmentation in your hair and skin would also be involved at some point, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah. And God, this landlady though, Jenny, and she's in Bride of Frankenstein, and you know, like all these people were in so many fucking movies, like hundreds of movies, and it's all like in the 30s. They just worked, and you know, a lot of this is all on the same set, you know, in LA or whatever. And man, but you know, like, he gets upstairs, and yeah, she's gonna feed him and stuff, and she's like, it's cold, you gotta take off your coat, and he's like, I'm leaving my coat on, and her face is just like, she makes some great faces.
She looks manic. Herself.
She does. Well, and then later when shit really hits the fan, she's just like randomly screaming, and it's like, there's moments where like she starts screaming and you're not really sure why, and I love that, you know?
It is a little overly dramatic and over the top, but it's so fun. That, she cracked me up a lot. Mostly her.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it works on the world of the movie, because it is kind of heightened. And I mean, he's like all crazy and stuff. And yeah, she's very funny. And then what happens is this guy says, I want privacy. And she brings him food. He's like, I need to be left alone. She's like, okay. But then she gets downstairs. Oh, no, I forgot to give him mustard. So she brings him back up the mustard without really checking to see if it's okay if she walks in first. And she sees the bottom part of his face is gone as he's eating. Fucked up.
There's no mouth.
No mouth.
Scary.
Totally scary. And she tells that guy that. And then I think that's when we first meet Flora and Dr. Kemp, and then Flora's dad, Dr. something other. I forget the character's name. But they do a really good job of not shoving the exposition down your throat. Did you think so?
Yeah, I thought that was great. That we just got little bits and pieces. Because once you see that he has no mouth, I'm like, I need to know what else. I need to see more of that. I need to see more of like what that's about.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. You just need to know dude's invisible. It's in the name of the movie, and it becomes very apparent early on when he's invisible. So you don't need to know everything.
One thing about, like, this is 1933. Like, this must have, like, knocked the socks off of people when they saw this.
Oh, you mean like special effects wise?
Yeah, like, how the hell did they do that?
Dude, for sure. Did you look up how they did it?
Yeah, because I had forgotten how a lot of the practical effects in this were done. So I went and read a little bit about it, and this movie was not cheap to make. It was over $300,000.
Which is a ton.
I think it was like almost like $350, I think, almost.
Yeah.
Like that's,
yeah, something like that.
In the 30s, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
What would that be now, today?
Oh, I don't know.
300,000.
Yeah, I'm going to right here. $3,000 in 1933. How much today? 7.6 million.
Damn.
It's still low budget though. That's still low budget now, but that's crazy.
But for then, holy shit.
Yeah, for then it was a big deal. But the special effects, I mean, not having done a ton of research, I don't know what other special effects films were going on at the time, but I mean, this had to be some of the most extensive special effects work in a movie at that point.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, I mean, the main character's invisible. So you're like,
how are we going to do that?
Yeah, there's something going on. I actually just copy and pasted the Wikipedia into my notes here, but like, because this was before blue screen and green screen too. So they had shot against a completely black set of walls and floors covered in black velvet to make it non-reflective. And velvet, you know, of course, is very matte fabric. It's not going to reflect anything. So the actor was then covered head to foot with black velvet tights and then wore whatever clothes are required for the scene. And then with this negative, a print was made and a duplicate negative was made to serve as mats for printing. Then with an ordinary printer, they made a composite first printing of the positive, the background, and normal action using the negative to mask the area. That's not even the whole paragraph. It's a very complicated process. And I would bet a lot of that budget comes from having to use so much fucking film.
Yeah, I wrote that down. There was 4,000 feet of film. They had to hand treat it. So think of that. So 63,000 frames were retouched by hand.
That is nuts. Hand. And here's the thing.
Holy shit.
There's a few shots where it looks fakey. And obviously, a lot of the time when it's just the invisible man lifting something, they use wires. And sometimes you can see the wires. Okay, fine. And some of the shots, when they're superimposed, whatever, look a little fake. But a lot of the effects are still fantastic. It still looks good.
Yeah, and what did we just watch? The Faculty with, like, her head on, like, the tentacle body thing?
Yeah.
And that was how many years later? And that still kind of looks, like, fakey or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah. Like... This movie, there were moments where I went, damn, it's like a fucking poltergeist in this movie. Like, this shit looks cool.
It's so cool. And what's great about it, too, is they don't blue balls you. You get invisible action pretty quickly, and there's a lot of it after that. I mean, there's, like, very long scenes of just the Invisible Man doing shit. You know, which is cool. That's what you want to see. Yeah, we learn from the other doctors and then the girl Flora, who's obviously in love with Jack, and they are like, well, where did he go? And so you learn that he was a scientist with these other two guys in a very blasé form of science. They're working on food preservation, which is probably more exciting at the time, but to us is something we take for granted, you know? But in the 30s, when I don't think everybody had a fridge yet, or even if, I don't know where fridges were at that point, you know, but It was important science work, but not very exciting. And we find out that Jack was doing something else, and then he disappeared. And they're like, what the fuck? And of course, Flora just wants to like find him. And she believes that he's like still a good guy. Where the other doctor, Kemp, is like, I don't know. He was doing something weird because he was keeping it secret. And a scientist keeping something secret means they're doing something dangerous, is basically what he says.
It's very reminiscent of Frankenstein. Same kind of shit.
Yeah. Fucking with science, and there you go. But then, like, they have this conversation, then she goes in the other room and is crying, and Dr. Kemp follows. And she's still crying about her missing boyfriend. And Dr. Kemp is like, I still have feelings for you. I want to talk about it. She's like, no!
Fuck away from me, you fucking creep.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I'm literally at this very moment crying over my boyfriend being missing. Like,
let me help you get over those tears, babe.
Yeah, what timing? Like, dude, come on.
Come on.
Read that one asshole's book about hitting on women, you know? Yeah, and so we kind of learn more a little bit about them. And then, of course, they go back to the pub so we can see more silly shit happen. And it's awesome. And it's been a couple weeks at this point, and then they're like, he still hasn't paid his rent. And he's like loud and he's mean. Whenever we go in the room, he yells at us. And the landlady, Jenny's like, he swore at me, which it's 30s swearing. So it's not like he said, get out of here, you fucking bitch. But he was like, get out of here, damn it. I don't even know what he said. He didn't say anything that registered with me as a swear word. Did you catch it?
No, but he just is very crass and very, very mean to her. Like, they gave you a room when she said she didn't fucking have one. She's bringing you up food and beer and leaving you alone for the most part, but she's like catering to you.
Yeah.
And he's so ungrateful. Like, ugh.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's like I said earlier, arrogant. And he calls them country bumpkins at one point. So that's what he thinks. He thinks, here's big city dick. I could tell these fucking poor people what to do. Which even the fact that he's not paying rent is arrogant. Like, I don't see them as real people. I don't need to pay them the rent that they're asking. You know what I mean? It's fucking rich dick shit. You know what I mean? It's like something we deal with in real life all the time. They think they get to have different rules because they have, whatever.
So have you read the book before, or you were just going to reread it before this? Was that what you were saying?
I was going to reread it and didn't, but I read it as a kid, so quite a long time ago. Okay. But, H.G. Wells' books were not long, so I remember a little bit of it.
Okay. I just love having a main character that you just immediately fucking don't like. Like, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
At all. I'm very intrigued by what's going on, but I kind of don't give a shit. Like, he did this to himself. He's a dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do it to yourself, too. That's why you're visible. But you're right, that he's immediately unlikable. And so I think they probably, on purpose at least a little bit, made every other character a lot of fun, especially in the bar. Because so what happens is, like, she goes up there to do something, and he's like, get out, I must have privacy, or whatever. He probably says privacy. He's that arrogant, right? So she runs down, sobbing and whatever, because she's very dramatic. And her husband, like, what is it? And she mentions, like, that he was half invisible and all this stuff, and that he's not paying the rent. And the husband's like, I'm going to go up there and, And he just beats the husband up and throws him down the stairs.
Yeah, he threw him down the fucking stairs.
Yeah, what a fucking dick.
What the hell? He was being so nice about it, too. He was like, hey, this is your bill. You're being rude to my fucking wife. You haven't paid the rent. Oh, I got money coming. Okay, you said that last week, dude.
Yeah.
And another week's gone by. Like, you gotta pay for everything. And he wasn't, like, being mean about it.
No.
He was like, come on, guy. Like, you can't be fucking doing this shit. And he's like, fuck you. He's also been, like, ruining the room. Like, the guy's like, this is my house, and you're ruining it. Like, get out.
Yeah. He acts like it's his own house.
No.
He's not good. And you know who else says they have money coming? Every dirtbag who's behind on their rent since the beginning of time. Yo, you and I both been there, I'm sure. You having trouble making ends meet at one point. Landlord's like, where's the rent? And you're like, I got money coming. I am sure I've said that when it wasn't true to some landlord at some point. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely have. And then just started like asking everyone, like, can we, like, can I borrow like $100? And like, if you can get like 3 people to give you $100, and like I finally have rent, but now I got to figure out how I'm gonna pay them back.
Yeah. Oh, God, it sucks. The whole thing sucks. Being broke sucks. But don't be a fucking dickhead about it. Yeah, he throws the husband down the stairs, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Which, yeah. And that's when she starts screaming pretty much all the time. And the civilians in the bar are like, "What the hell, man?" And all that they've really seen so far is the lady saw how part of his head was missing when he was eating food. And that's why he was so mad that she walked in on him, because he doesn't want anyone to know, obviously.
She's like, call the cops! Call the fucking cops! She's trying to kill my husband!
Yeah, and they do.
What the
fuck? They go get the local constable. And there's an unwritten rule when you're making a movie like this. If your small-town British constable doesn't say, "What's all this?" you fucked up. Right? Old-timey British cops have to say, "What's all this?" Because that's what he says. And this one says it twice. So, very good.
Great.
And they're all telling him, like, he's invisible and he's an asshole, whatever. And then they come up, and that's when he removes his bandages and his goggles, revealing that he's invisible. He stripped all his clothes off, and he's running around. It's just the shirt. So it's just the shirt running around. The cop's fantastic.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Put the cuffs on." He goes, "How can I cuff a bloomin' shirt?"
Cuff a shirt? You're out of your minds.
And someone goes, "What's the matter with him?" And I think it's a cop that says this: "He's invisible. That's what's the matter with him. If he gets some clothes off, we'll never catch him in 1,000 years."
Yeah.
He's invisible. That's what's the matter with him. But so when they get the constable and they go up there the first time, and that's the classic moment everybody remembers from this movie. He undoes the bandages, and there's nothing there, and then he takes the gloves off and everything, and he's slowly disrobing, and it's all invisible. That scene is so awesome still.
I still went like, damn, how'd they do this? This is so fucking cool.
Yeah, and it's just so cool how, making a monster out of literally nothing. It's a really cool idea.
Yeah, it's very poltergeisty, right?
Yeah.
Had there been kind of a ghost movie up to this point like this?
Yeah, I think so.
Where they use kind of like practical effects like that with like things on wires and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I guess I could just ask, what was the first ghost movie? But there was stuff like that. But you know what's? But I think what makes it scarier, or not scary necessarily. What was the first? Well, I accidentally just typed, "What was the first ghost?" That's a weird question to ask. What was the first ghost movie?
What's it say?
The House of the Devil from 1896, and that makes sense. That's old silent film where the skeleton dances around. So that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So they've done stuff like that before. Yeah, sure. But you know what? I think what makes this a little creepier and disturbing in a way is like ghosts kind of like they're in the house or they're here or they're there for a reason. Whereas this guy just can't be seen and he's just some crazy asshole. You know?
He's super unpredictable.
Yeah, and like they say, he's going to kill and rape and do whatever he wants. Like somebody says that at one point. I haven't really seen any other Invisible Man movies. Not meaning just this series, but I've never seen Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I've never seen Hollow Man. I've just never gotten around to those. So,
Invisible Woman?
Nope, haven't. Oh, okay. You mean like the superhero? Yeah, there's that, I guess. But as far as I know, she's not a rapist. But I know like Hollow Man, that's a big part of it is the voyeurism, right? Like he's sneaking looks at ladies' boobs and stuff because he's invisible. And I'm pretty sure that one gets rapey. And the more recent one with Elizabeth Gross, that one is interesting because it's not chemicals, it's technology. And the guy's abusive and invisible. It's like her abusive husband. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that one or just read about it too. It's interesting because he's abusive and she kills him or thinks she kills him. And what she didn't know is he was a scientist working on this invisibility technology. So then he goes back in their house, invisible, and basically does things to her. And she tries to tell people and nobody believes her. So he's like gaslighting her, which it's a kind of a fascinating take on the story, you know?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like, just like doing different things. She's like, oh my God, this just happened. Her friends are like, okay, sure, whatever, So it's, yeah. And so I guess that's always been a tradition, probably because of this. Like, this guy's a dick. And like I said, in the book, he doesn't even have a chemical driving him crazy. He's just crazy. And I forgot about that, the chemical angle. So at first, for a while, I'm like, I can see how being invisible would drive you crazy.
Yeah, because he goes, how do I get back? He keeps saying that.
Yeah, he's working on an antidote. That's what he's trying to do in that room.
Yeah, he's like so frantic about it. Like, I have to figure a way back. I have to figure a way back.
Yeah. But think about, like, if you can't see yourself, like, there is a psychological connection there when you can look in the mirror, or I can hold up my hand right now and look at my hand. Like, your sense of self has to be thrown way out of whack.
Yeah.
And no wonder he becomes a megalomaniac, because he's like, I'm everywhere and nowhere, like I'm not even here, but I am here. It's just a very weirdly psychological thing. And maybe he didn't think it in the beginning, but he's going crazier throughout the movie. He kind of reveals later that he wants the antidote so he can control this thing.
Yes.
Not so that he can stop being invisible, but so that he can be invisible when he wants to. And then he talks about making an invisible army. So it's like, oh my God.
Jeez.
Once he reveals himself to the police officer, and then he beats the shit out of the cop. I don't think he kills that cop, but he definitely like chases them around and freaks out and jumps out the window. And then he runs through the town. This is such a great sequence. He basically runs through the town giggling and fucking with people. What was your favorite part of that part? Like all the little things he did.
Oh my God, he pushed the baby carriage over?
Yeah, I wrote that one down like, oh my God.
He's a menace to society, for real.
Yeah, he really is. He kind of says that, I think. I think he says at one point, like, almost exactly that. Like, I want to go menace them, basically. So the one cop, the constable from the town, is like, oh God, this guy's invisible. This is fucked up. And when they try and tell more cops, they're like, oh yeah, where'd you see this invisible man? The bar. Oh, well, why don't you tell him to put more water in next time? Did you notice, by the way, in the bar, on tap, they had liquor on tap in little barrels.
Yeah, the landlady.
Yeah, Jenny.
When she tells her husband, go up there and kick this fucking guy out, she takes a little sip of gin.
Yes, yeah, and there's labeled barrels behind her.
She pours herself. Yeah.
And what? What'd you say?
Yeah, she takes like a little sip, just kind of like, yeah, this fucking guy, get this fucking guy out of my house. But yeah, I was like, wow. I mean, was that a normal thing for bars like that, to have the barrels like that?
I was about to say that, to have liquor on tap. I don't know. But I just saw it labeled rum, whiskey, or rye, rum, whiskey, whatever. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, because I thought they just had them in like bottles, like we still do today.
I've only seen Jägermeister on tap, but that's still a big bottle thing that they put into the tap machine thing.
Yeah, I like this in. No wonder why that place is busy.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. They really can just pour whiskey in a cup for you? Hell yeah. They got it in a barrel. Yo, you gotta go to Lion's Inn. That lady's fucking crazy. She'll hook you up, bro. Tons of barrels of whiskey, bro. It's fucking crazy. Upstairs, there's just glasses flying around. You look in, nobody's there. It's awesome. This place is great. Yeah. But yeah, he runs through the town. He like takes a guy's hat, throws it in the water. Yeah, he tips over a baby carriage, which is fucked up. And then he like takes off on a bicycle, which is funny, then throws the bicycle at people. And he just starts doing this, and it just keeps happening more and more. And eventually, they just got to kind of random people listening to the radio. And the radio is, I thought this was really clever, is the radio is reporting it like it's a mass delusion, not like there's an invisible man. At least at first. Of course, eventually everybody accepts it. But at first they're like, yeah, there's mass delusions in this little town. You know, because everybody's saying that there's an unseen force doing stuff, so everybody's having the same delusions.
A whole fucking town, though, is crazy.
Yeah. So, but it also makes sense because, like, well, what do you believe? I mean, do you believe that there's an invisible man, or do you believe that there's some sort of? Because there are instances in history of something like that happening, a poison water supply, or something gets put in the air, so or a disease. Everybody gets a weird disease in one town. Sure, in the world of this movie, they didn't know it was possible yet to be invisible. So I guess that's the next thing that makes sense. Mass hysteria, I guess. After that, he just walks into Dr. Kemp's house and he's like, we have work to do. Give me a cigarette. And it's like, I don't even know if this character smokes, but they wanted it to happen just because it was going to look cool.
It looks so freaking neat.
Yeah. And even if you can see the wiring sometimes, the control of the items that are being lifted and the kind of puppetry of I guess you would call it puppetry, it works so well. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a cigarette on a string and a lighter on a string, but they have it going to the right points where someone would be holding them to light them. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing it right. Yeah. It looks believable.
Yeah, this is stop motion.
But some of it's just on strings. Like, a lot of the doors are just a string, and I believe the lighter and the cigarette is just a string. Like, but yeah, there's stop motion, like when the tables and shit are moving, and yeah. Well, just like Ben was talking about with his thing, I'm sure they did stuff here where they shot it backwards.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, is it's such good, like, mainstream entertainment, because yeah, it's a classic story, whatever. But they just, like, take their very simple concept, invisible guy, and just play it to the hilt. You know what I mean? They just constantly have cool invisible things happening, and it's great, because yeah, at the end they just keep finding new ways for him to, like, fuck with the cops and stuff. And, like, there's a scene when he's going through the village where he just, like, kicks a guy in the butt, like, I love that. You know what I mean? It's great. And oh no, he kicks Dr. Kemp in the butt when he's bossing him around. That's what it is. Yeah. When he first comes into Kemp's room and says, you're going to do all this for me, he's like, the chemical was making me invisible, but it started to light up my brain. And, what he's talking about, it's driving him crazy. And that's how it gives him all these ideas about taking over the world. But, it just made me think, like, so when you're going crazy, you don't feel like you're going crazy. You feel like you're becoming more awesome or smarter or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is this when he's talking about an hour after he eats, you can still see the food in his body?
Yeah, then there's that great scene next where he tells him the rules.
That's what I like about this movie, too, is they do show you certain things. Like, he can smoke, so there's still, like, cigarette smoke.
Right.
So he says, an hour after he eats, you can still see the food being digested. You can still see, like, dirt in his fingernails, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, you can't take me in the cold or something. Like, gives him all these rules for anything that could make him visible, like footprints or something on him, like snow or rain. He said he can't be outside when it's wet because you could see the rain falling on him,
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the food thing is, I must always remain in hiding for an hour after meals. So basically what he's saying is until his body starts digesting it, you'll be able to see it. And it makes sense because, like, okay, so after it starts to digest, for the rest of the time it's in you, it is part of your body, I guess. So then it's invisible.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, you don't see anything. So it'd be funny just, like, see, like, chewed up banana just floating around.
I know. Because it's like, okay, so, like, anything foreign to his body, you'll still be able to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's be happy it works that way, because otherwise you'd suddenly just see shit forming and falling out of his ass.
So, like, if he put, like, lipstick on, you could see it. That would
be so funny. Dude, do they... See, now I got to see more Invisible Person movies because I got to find out if any Invisible Person puts on makeup. Is it just like, dude, okay, imagine, like, putting on a lot of gaudy makeup, like showgirl style or something, and so it's just a floating makeup face.
So think of Leatherface with the makeup
yeah.
to take away the leather bit.
Right, it's just the fucking lips. Dude, just lips floating around. Oh my God. There's your sequel. The Invisible Lips. No, wait, that's not what I'm called. It'd be called The Not Invisible Lips. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm so glad you said that because now I get to think about that.
And just eyebrows, just like floating
Eyelashes?
eyebrows and eyeshadow and
Oh my God.
eyelashes.
That'd be funny. That's great.
Nail polish.
Very funny.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You know what I would do?
It's such
I just
a
put a
cool
sock on my.
concept.
Yeah, I put a
Oh,
sock
no.
on my neck.
Like a no years.
Or just a condom. There's some condom floating around, poking people in the leg, and it's very inappropriate. I don't know what it is. It feels like there's a boner in there. I don't know.
So if the Invisible Man has a hard on and here's the cum part of the show, and he comes, so you see just the cum.
Well, I think it goes along with everything else, like chewed up food and the poop and pee. It's part of your body. Your body's producing this. But once it comes out, yeah. So you wouldn't see it like, oh my God. You wouldn't see like a stream of it coming out, but once it comes out of the dick, yes, you just see it spread. You know what? There's like some B movies and exploitation movies involving invisibility. And one would hope that some of the because there's movie companies. I know that Vinegar Syndrome has in the past had some, like there's one called The Invisible Maniac that people seem to love that I've always wanted to see. So I bet there's someone's got to do shit like that because that's amazing.
It's endless possibilities in Invisible Man. Endless.
Yeah. And they do that well in this movie. They were too dignified to do cum jokes, but like they still do a lot of good stuff. And yeah, well, it's good that they were too dignified to do it because it gives us room, And if I'm not about to Google it, maybe I will someday. But if there is no Invisible Cum movie, I guess we should make one. I mean, shoot, man, on the Whitest Kids, our prop people got very good at making fake jizz, so we got that part covered.
Hey.
But it is.
I almost pissed myself.
It's so funny. It's such a funny concept, and but it is right there. I mean, that's the thing is, you're right. It really fires your imagination, and they do a lot of fun stuff with it in this movie. I wanted to ask you this, and I'm not even sure if I have a good answer myself. But what do you think you would do if you were invisible, Shandi Sullivan? If you were invisible, what do you think you would do?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Invisible, what would I do? Gosh. I definitely would try to get into buildings like I'm not supposed to get into.
Yeah. I'm not going to be a creep.
No.
I'm not going to go try and spy on ladies changing or try and rape anybody, any of that stuff. I was trying to think how would you use it to do good in the world? And I think you're on the right track. It's getting into buildings you can't get into. Okay. Like the fucking White House. I'm not going to say any further what I could do, but one of the things I could do that I can say is that I would find documents.
Oh, yeah. And then like take them to the local papers or like the news stations and like just deliver them to some reporter's desk. Like, oh, mysteriously.
Yeah, and not just the president. To fucking everybody.
Yeah, deal with the corruption.
Yeah, you could take apart the corporatocracy. Go to Elon's house. Go to Jeff Bezos' house. You know what I mean? Go do that shit. And you know what? Here's where we bring in that Elizabeth Moss version of the Invisible Man I was talking about. Okay, so let's say you're invisible. You break into Elon Musk's house. And you're like, I'm going to find some dirt on him. But you don't. There is dirt on him, obviously. But let's say it's somewhere else. You can't find it. So what do you do next? You start fucking driving him crazy.
Yeah, and you know how you drive him crazy?
Yeah, how's that?
Because since you're invisible, Timmy.
Yeah.
You like get on his phone and you send shit. You send pictures and shit that he's got on there to people.
Oh, okay.
You like move his fucking money around. Like you like send like a huge chunk of his money to like some charity that he fucking hates.
Oh, that'd be good. Like trans people.
Yeah. Because that would drive him crazy because he'd be like, I don't remember doing that. And they're like, well, sir, it came from your phone. Like you obviously did it. And then he's like, I didn't.
Well, I like that you were going there with it because when I was saying drive him crazy, I was thinking of something completely different. So yeah, we should do what you said. And then we can also do this like old school, like you just fucking move the furniture around.
Yeah.
And when he gets up and leaves the room, you rearrange all the chairs and he comes back in. He's like, what? And you just eventually turn him into Howard Hughes. Make him not a threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know what you do? You follow Donald Trump around and just constantly fucking pants him. I feel like that would do more good for the world than we think it would.
You're the reason why he keeps falling down the steps to get off the airplane.
Yeah. And I'm the reason why we all see that he does have those bowel problems you keep hearing rumors about that we've been hearing for years. You know, that he wears Depends. You've seen that, right? There's rumors and stuff. There's a lot of rumors out there that like he's like regularly shitting his pants.
Oh yeah, there was like some assistant that worked on The Apprentice that was like, yeah, that guy wears diapers. Like everybody knows it.
Yeah, and that was 20 years ago. So, you know, it's only worse now, I'm sure. So yeah, you can do a lot of good things. But I can't say that I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't do anything, sex crimes. I wouldn't do any of that. I wouldn't be violent. But I mean, I can't say I wouldn't rob banks.
Yeah.
I would probably rob banks.
Yeah, I would definitely rob some jewelry stores for sure.
Oh, that's another fun thing to see floating around. Just beautiful necklaces and diamond rings. And a mink coat. Just a mink coat and some golden necklaces and nice earrings just fucking floating through the air. My God.
With the lipstick on?
With the lipstick. Oh, dude. Or you become a stripper and you just walk around with pasties. It's just pasties floating around.
Because you can put pasties on your butt cheeks, too. So it's like on your nips and on your butt cheeks.
And people would know what it was like. Okay, so there's some floating tits here, and then a shorter person's floating tits behind them? Like, what are those? Oh, God. That's so funny. But you know what? I mean, even just this conversation we're having starts to make what Jack in the movie goes through, it starts to make it make sense. Because it's like, he starts giggling and doing all this dumb shit.
He's like, look what I can do.
Yeah, like later on when the police chief like doesn't believe them, says they're all drinking, says the thing about the water, like, I just asked for more water in your drink. Well, they eventually get the police chief to come to the bar, and they put all the tables together, and they have a big meeting, and all the townspeople and the constable and the bar owners, everybody's like telling him all this shit. And he still doesn't really believe him. And then meantime, Jack has told Kemp he needs the rest of his notes that are still in the room he had in the bar. So,
yeah. He had to go get his books. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, his books and stuff. So he goes and gets them. And this arrogant motherfucker, instead of just sneaking in, getting your books, getting out, and that's what he kind of told Kemp he was going to do. And he gives Kemp the books out the window. But instead of just jumping out the window too and leaving, what does he do? He goes downstairs and starts messing with people, and then eventually just kills the police chief, like, in front of everybody.
Yeah, he's definitely escalating, folks.
Yeah. And so there's violent things that he's doing, but also he just does silly stuff, which is like, well, I can't say I wouldn't do that. And so I understand the part of him that's just like running around, giggling, like taking people's hat, pulling guys' pants off, stealing your bicycle. I wouldn't push the baby over.
No.
But I would definitely do some of those other things. And, I watched this with subtitles on too. And there's a lot in parentheses like laughing. Because he's always like, And yeah, it does just keep escalating. And once the police chief gets murdered, then it's like, okay, there's an invisible man and he's hurting people and he's doing things. And so that's when they try and like come up with like little ways to stop him.
They start very like what you probably would first think of, right?
Yeah. They have people calling in ideas too, like just nuts. Calling like, well, he poured ink on the police officer before he killed him, and you should pour some ink on him.
Yeah, because they said like there's like 1,000-pound reward.
It is really now truly creating mass hysteria.
When they get back on the radio and they're like, oh, we've confirmed it's not a hoax. There's an invisible man. There's a very, very short montage of just people locking their doors and like putting chains on their doors and stuff. And it's just a really close-up shot of people's hands and like locking the doors. And I was like, I love this little montage.
Yeah, it tells you all you need to know. And that's when he goes to visit Flora.
The conversations he has with Flora are great because he's so calm at first, and then he slowly starts to go manic.
Yeah.
And go into his tirades of being godlike and taking over, and this is what I'm going to accomplish. And like, I can see why everybody loved this guy's performance.
Yeah.
He's so calm and sweet with her. And then he does kind of forget that she's there, because then he starts fucking talking about himself.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, so before that first talk with her, he talks to Dr. Kemp and basically, not really blackmails Dr. Kemp, but basically says, you're going to help me or I'll kill you, because I'm invisible. I can kill you whenever I want. He tells Dr. Kemp basically that I'm going to take over the world. And then when he talks to Flora, he at first is kind of downplaying all that kind of shit. Like at first he's being sweet, and he's like, look at your funny little hat.
Oh.
I just wrote down, he's right, it is a funny little hat. And you're right, it just ramps up so well. Because he starts with like, we would be taken care of. Like, okay, yeah, everybody wants that. And like, I want to make my mark on the world. I want to be famous. Okay, yeah, there are people out there who strive for that. And then I can sell it to other governments to make invisible armies take over the world. It's like, whoa, okay, what? It's like, hold on. Like, she's like, you lost me.
Yeah, I thought this was just about me and you. Now what's going on?
Yeah. Now you've got invisible armies? What the fuck is the matter with you? I just read the newspaper. There's some German guy who would want that, and I don't want him to have that. You know?
I don't know. I feel so bad for her. It's like, this fucking guy is lost his fucking mind. His colleague is trying to, like, get with her.
Yeah.
And, like, her dad is just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, she has no one.
Her dad kind of has figured out what's going on, but doesn't want to tell the police who it is. And he visited Flora, then he goes to bed that night, feeling very satisfied with himself because he's visited his girlfriend. He thinks everything's fine. Camp is at home and he calls the cops and calls the doctor and Flora because he thinks Jack's asleep. But Jack wakes up.
Yeah, he's like, thanks for opening the window for me, Camp. You just let me out, you dick, and I'm going to kill you tomorrow. By the way.
Yeah. Right before he jumps out the window, he gives another crazy speech to Camp and says something about how the moon is scared of him.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is scared of him, including the moon. The moon is afraid of me. It's like, what? And when he runs outside, that's when the cops have linked arms because they think that's how to catch him, because I can't get past you. What did you think about that image when they first showed them all linking arms and like walking towards the house? What did you think?
I went, they have no idea. No idea what to fucking do.
Yeah, because it's like, this is the solution? But again, I don't know, because it's got to be hard. You can't see this person. And he's volatile and will do anything, you know? But yeah, it is very funny to see all these cops like linking arms and just walking in a circle to the house. And it doesn't work. They start, like, he just starts, again, just fucking with him. Some guy's like, oh, he's grabbing my nose.
He's got me by the leg, sir.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Swinging him around. I laughed so hard.
Yeah, he's stronger. He's stronger than we think. He gets behind that guy, yeah, pulls him, and then he swings him around until his pants fall off. And then Jack escapes, and then in the next shot, we see a woman running down the street being chased just by the pants. And he's singing some fucked up nursery rhyme, something, I forget what it is, and chasing her around.
Oh, it's so funny.
It is. And it's always got this tinge of creepiness too, but it is very funny. Camp has invisible man syndrome because now he's a fucking lunatic at this point because he just thinks he's everywhere.
Yeah, he's being driven mad himself.
Mm-hmm. He really is terrorizing the countryside, which he does say that word for word, I believe. What are you going to do? Terrorize the countryside? You know, like, okay, well, okay. Because, like, there's a scene where he's just, like, going around, is it fishermen? And he's just pushing them off of cliffs, right?
It's like a search party that's after him because now there's like been this big broadcast. Because like he killed the guy at the train controls, and then he fucked with the controls, and like killed 100 people because he derailed the train.
Yeah.
So he's killed a cop, and now he's killed like a whole bunch of people. So now they have search parties looking out for him, and they have a reward. And he's like, "Oh, you guys think you found me or whatever." And then I wrote, "Oh no, he just like kicked them over the side of the cliff." He's like, "Down you go," and he's just like very like maniacal about it. He's like,
yeah,
whoa, and another one, whoop. Like Jesus.
Yeah, he's very matter-of-factly just terrorizing things. So Kemp's like, yeah, really afraid, and he's like, "You guys got to protect me because it's almost 10 p.m. or whatever. It's 10 p.m. is coming. He's gonna kill me." So they have this elaborate plan to get Dr. Kemp out of his house into police protection, and then to spirit him out of the country. And they put dirt up on the wall around Kemp's house, and they have a net that they put around themselves to make like a little group, and they put him in.
Yeah.
Everything the cops do is adorable to me. I don't know why. You know, that little net group is so hilarious to me. Like, they get a bunch of cops, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 guys, and then they put Kemp in the middle, and then they tie a net around themselves so that I guess the idea is the Invisible Man couldn't get in there. And so they're going to, like, walk him down the street to the police station, and then they're going to get him inside and switch him in clothes into a police officer's uniform, and then get him out, and then get him in a car so he can drive away.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. It's not a bad plan.
No, it's not a bad plan. And they do mention, like, he could be here listening to us, and then they think that they are safe from it or something, and then they go over the whole plan. Well, so they've also put dirt up on the brick wall around Kemp's house. It's loose earth, is what they say. And so if he climbs it, you know, it'll fall and they'll notice it. Well, that starts to happen. So then they take the spray paint and start spraying up there, thinking, "Oh, this will get the Invisible Man." And they did it to a kitty.
They turned the white cat into a black cat.
Yeah, and it looks like they really did that to a cat too, which sucks.
You know what I thought they did actually, instead of doing something nefarious,
Torturing an animal?
is you could get that same effect by just making the black cat wet. And that's what I hope they did.
Yeah.
But
sure.
the idea of the spray gun is not a bad idea.
No, it's a good way to mark him up.
Yeah.
It's like, going back to bank robberies, it's like the ink things they put in money at a bank that explode, and now the ink's all over the money, so you can't use that money because people will know where it's stolen, or it might even be all over you, and it doesn't wash off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a similar thing. But this fails because Jack has been there the whole time, being very quiet, apparently. So when they finally get Kemp into the cop station, into a disguise, into his car, out in the country, oh, he's still there. And he gives another crazy speech about, like, they're going to find your broken bones and all that stuff. And then he, like, ties him into the car, just pushes the car off a cliff, basically. And that's how he kills Kemp.
The effect here is really cool when he hog ties him, right?
Yes.
He does his wrists and his legs. And they show him like lifting his whole body up and throwing him in the car.
Yeah.
Are you doing that with wires, I guess, and maybe like a dolly or something? But like, it looked really good. Like, if a guy was invisible, picking up a grown-ass man and throwing him into a car.
Yeah.
It was done really well. I was like, whoa! Yeah. And man, what a gnarly fucking death. I'm just gonna hit the thing here, and there you go.
Yeah, and then he's just screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would be screaming.
And I love these little sets that they made for this, like the car going off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the little set for the train derailing. They were great.
Yeah, miniatures? Yeah, very cool.
Because I read that too. There was like miniatures, and then there were like lots of background paintings too for this. which I thought was cool.
Yeah, and they did that a lot for a lot of these movies because a lot of them were shot on set, and I'm sure that village scene is in Dracula and the Wolfman too. You know what I mean? Like for what's this town called in this, Iping. Yeah, so at this point, he's just going around, killing people, doing whatever he wants. And I had a thought, getting towards the end of the movie, but what's interesting about being invisible and then being a maniac on top of it, a murderer, is the power kind of makes you omnipresent because people now assume you are everywhere, even when you're not. They have to live their lives differently because of you. Well, it's like what you said with everybody has to lock their doors now. Everybody has to do this and that. Keep your windows shut. You know, that whole montage you said you liked. And yeah, that's when I kind of started thinking that, like, wow, because they can't see you anywhere, they assume that you're everywhere. That's like more powerful than just being invisible.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's what you can't see is what's the scariest thing.
Yeah. And, you know, on the note, talking about the effects again, it's like, it is so great that these are such great effects when the effects are what? You can't see a guy. That's the whole idea, but the effects are awesome.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing. Like, hey, what if there was a guy you couldn't see? That's the whole fucking movie. So much great stuff comes out of it, you know? It's awesome. And like every villain, any monster, not like the mindless monsters, but any bad guy and monster, villain, whatever, that has whatever, what am I trying to say? Any like fuck. I'm starting to get sweaty in here, and it really kills your brain. You're right.
I am sweating fucking balls right now.
Yeah, me too. But I tell you where it's not hot. The end of the Invisible Man, because it's winter.
It's about to get hot, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ew. But just real quick, since I think I thought of the word.
Okay.
Any villain or monster with like self-awareness, who is aware of themselves, they eventually get arrogant. And start getting lazy because they think, no one's ever going to catch me. So I'll just go into this barn and sleep on some hay. You know?
Yeah, and guess who gets him? A country bumpkin.
Yeah, good point.
Someone that you think less than of.
Yeah, he gets him. After all this craziness, running around the countryside and cackling and fucking with people and killing them, you get tired. And so, yeah, he goes to sleep in this like little barn out in the countryside and lays down in the hay. And like Shandi said, yeah, a country bumpkin, what he would call a country bumpkin, a farmer, goes in there to do some work because they're actually working all the time. They're not just bumpkinning around, whatever bumpkin means. Anyways, so he's going in there to do hay work, whatever farmers do. I don't understand agriculture. And he notices, like, does he hear breathing?
He's snoring. He's snoring so loud.
Yeah. If you're going to be an invisible murderer, maybe make sure that your respiratory system is up to snuff so that you don't snore.
And it's like, yeah, you're invisible, which is insane and incredible, and you're the only person that has this ability. You're still a man. You still have to eat. You still have to sleep. You're still affected by the cold.
Yeah. You're invisible, not invincible.
Thank you. I was trying to find that fucking word.
Yeah, words are the worst. Ugh, words.
Thank you.
But no, you're totally right. And it goes along with what I was saying, which is he's arrogant, right? It all kind of goes with that.
Yep.
He thinks he's above us now. And he definitely thinks he's above the country people, like he does right away. So anyways, the farmer's like, oh, somebody is in here snoring and I can't see them. I know who this is, you know. So he calls the cops. And it's snowing. And the cops are like, okay, now we can get him. And it's a very simple but effective plan. They're like, hey, man, thanks for calling us. Can we start your building on fire?
I went, are they going to pay for this guy's barn?
I hope so. I mean, look, that barn probably only cost $75 in 1933 money. So, tops, probably less than that.
They better give him that 1,000-pound reward.
Oh, they tell him that.
Better fucking give it to him.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, the head detective seems like a good guy. Hopefully you can trust him. Anyway, so there we go. They start the building on fire. And, well, he's, again, invisible, not invincible. So he runs out. And they see the footprints in the snow. And they fucking plug him.
At first I went, did he not see all of those cops? But then I went, well, there's all that smoke. So his, sight is all fucked up.
And think about it. You and I were both just heat hot. And it made us not think as well. Okay? And then you have a human response because it's hot and now there's fire. You don't care what's outside. You need to get there. So there's that. But yes, the smoke for sure, but probably that too. It's just like, oh, I got to, like you wake up and it's on fire. I got to go, So he's not even thinking about it. So that's why it was a perfect trap because, everybody knows how they'd react to suddenly being on fire. You run away. So they're like, he's going to run out here and we'll see it because it's snowing. We'll see the footprints. So yeah. There's 100 or 200 cops around. There's a ton of people with guns. And yet the detective, and I guess he's earned this right, the detective is like, I got him with his little gun, and he shoots him, and he falls down. But he's still invisible because he's not dead. I was surprised that he's not dead.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, it was kind of for me, weirdly a sad moment. You just kind of see the snow make the impression of his body when it fell over.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely sad. And it gets a little more sad because it cuts to the hospital and you kind of infer by the way they're talking oh, he's still alive. So Flora and Dr. Cranley are there and the surgeon comes out and says, he's dying. He's been shot through both lungs and I can't do surgery because he can't see it. I mean, how the fuck would you do that? You would for sure kill them. Because, you don't know where to start. I mean, if you're a really good surgeon and you can see the impression where his head's on the pillow, okay, well, then you can probably kind of figure out, well, in general, on the average person, the lungs would be right here. But you don't know that for sure. And you definitely don't know where the bullet is.
That's such a cool concept of, all your organs are also invisible.
Yeah. So do you think he saw the bullet, though?
I don't know.
I bet you could, and that would even be crazier. Oh, shit, I see them, but for me to pull them out, we'll definitely kill this guy.
I mean, you can still feel his body.
Yeah, I suppose.
You just can't be sure where, you're actually, using a scalpel to cut, or, where the veins are, I guess.
Yeah, and once you get in there, I guess you would know if you're a surgeon in a lot of practice, you would know what the lungs feel like, but still, And the lungs are spongy, right? They're not hollow. So it'd be kind of hard to find the bullet in there. What a weird idea.
Yeah. So like you said, you're not invincible. There's a lot of complications with this gift that you've given yourself.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, he's saying your name, Flora, and he's probably going to die. So why don't you go in there? And he says, I meddled in things that man must leave alone. So, too little, too late, bitch.
Also, him dying is the thing that he injected himself with is going to dissipate as well, which I thought was a cool idea. And then just the cool skeleton animation of his face coming back was really cool. And then the minute he came back, I just yelled, damn, he's hot.
Yeah.
I really did. And I wrote it down.
Well, yeah, it's Claude Rains. He was a famous actor then, too.
He's hot as shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. A couple years later, when they made The Wolfman, he played the Wolfman's dad. And he's also in Casablanca. And Universal Pictures, in the 1920s, they made Phantom of the Opera, famously Lon Chaney Sr. But they made it again in the 1940s with Claude Rains playing the Phantom. So, yeah, he was definitely one of their dudes, that they would use a lot. But, yeah, good actor. And, yeah, definitely a good-looking dude. And on that note, I kind of had this thought at the end of it. Like, one problem with superhero movies, we won't say any specific superheroes. But one problem with superhero movies is that you can tell when you watch a superhero movie that the actor had it in his contract that at one point he has the mask off so you can see his face. You know what I mean? That happens in a lot of those movies. Because there's always a part where the superhero takes his mask off. It's like, why would he have his mask off here? It's clearly only so that we see the actor's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Claude Rains is a real badass for not doing that. Because, like I said, I forgot that he's already invisible when the movie starts, so you never see his face until the end and get Shandi sexually excited. You know, until then, there's nothing.
This very, very handsome man is covered the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, badass. Not a lot of people do that. You know who else did that, though? Carl Urban, when he played Judge Dredd in the movie Dredd, had the mask on, which covers everything up until like the bottom of your nose. So pretty much only your mouth is out. He had that on the whole movie. But they don't do it very often. You know, it takes a certain fortitude to be like, you know what? I believe in this character and this story. If the girls don't see my face for a picture, whatever. Also, back in the 30s, I'm sure, given what I've seen of the actor credits, just looking at stuff today before we did this episode, I'm sure when Claude Rains was like, well, you know what? I believe in the characters and this story, so they don't need to see my face in this movie. Also, they'll be seeing my face in 14 other movies this year, so it doesn't matter. Because these people fucking worked. I mean, good God.
Yeah, they cranked out movies, those studios.
Oh my God, did you look at like the filmography for any of these people, like Jenny, the landlady?
No.
Dude, it's like complete filmography, not even 30 years, and it's like 100 movies.
Damn.
That's crazy. I mean, look at this, 1933. Jenny, the woman who played the landlady. A movie called Cavalcade, Pleasure Cruise, Timbuktu, Horseplay, Mary Stevens, MD, The Invisible Man. That was the last film she did that year, but that was 6 movies. What?
They were like spitting out movies back then, weren't they? Not like they are now. I mean, their actor contracts were probably like, you have to do like this many movies this year, and like even if you don't want to be in it, you're going to be in it somehow. Like,
yeah, totally.
You're going to be in the background. You're going to be a supporting character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one guy that I was looking at because I thought I saw a guy playing a cop in this that later became very famous. So I was trying to find out who that might have been. And I was just clicking on different actor names that said they played a cop. And there was one dude who's played a barfly like 100 times. Like he has played.
He's that guy.
Yeah, uncredited barfly. He was not a barfly in this movie. He was a cop. But I think when he got older, that's just what he did. In every goddamn Western, it looks like. Every Western TV show and movie in the 50s and 60s in America. It's like this dude played barfly.
Wow.
Watch a few movies from that time, and if you keep noticing the same dude, oh, it's probably this guy, you know? That's crazy, though. I mean, just the amount of work.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie. And a lot of these movies end with a great line. King Kong, you know, Beauty killed the Beast, which I probably got that line wrong. But in this one, yeah, I meddled in things that man must leave alone. And he's right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But did scientists learn that from him? No, because then what did they do? Made a Jurassic Park. You know? I mean, because really, at the very core of it, that's the same story. Scientists get cocky, shit gets wild. They die. Because in the book, by the way, Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm and John Hammond die in the book. So, there we go. Anyways.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's character does not make it out of the first Jurassic Park book. And the old guy, John Hammond.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. No, that was my first time as a kid being like, okay, even though this is one of the greatest movies of all time, the book is better than the movie. The book has a part where a bunch of dudes fight a bunch of raptors with rocket launchers.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's pterodactyls and stuff, all in the first book, you know, so.
Wow.
Look, I don't know if you knew this, but the Jurassic Park movie is good.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, The book is also very good. Anyways, the movie and the book of The Invisible Man are also good. And if you haven't seen this, especially if you're like younger, I know some of the fans and stuff are not quite as old as us. And if you've ever had an aversion to older movies, even when we started this, Shandi, you said you felt like you didn't watch enough older movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't think anybody does. I don't. I mean, I definitely tried to. But, I mean, movies have been going on for a long time. And like we just said, in the 30s, they were cranking these fuckers out. Some of those movies probably stink, but there's a lot of good ones. And so don't let the absence of color or the year on a movie keep you from watching it. Because, like, this movie is just as cool and creepy as anything modern, I think.
Yeah, and if you want to see an even older movie that's also super creepy and has really cool kind of practical, like, stage effect type stuff with production sets and things, is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah! Oh, good call.
That movie came out in the 20s, like early 20s.
Yeah, it's probably 100 years old.
Yeah.
1920, actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude, so that's 106 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Tim Burton got a lot of inspiration from these Universal horror movies. But have you watched Cabinet of Dr. Caligari lately? That has Tim Burton all over it.
Yeah, he would not have his style without that movie at all. That movie is still, 100 years later, has some of the best sets in a movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, totally. And it's what you would call expressionist.
Expressionist.
Yeah, where it's like not like literal and realistic. It's more like they're expressing, it's kind of like they're inferring the existence of a building or a shadow or a street. So it's like, in some ways, looks kind of almost cartoony, but there's a lot of weird angles and stuff and a lot of shadows, right? I haven't seen it in a while, but it is awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that at some point.
We should. And then the remake, just called Dr. Caligari, which is like an erotic horror film made by Steven Sayadian.
Oh.
That movie's apparently crazy, from 1989.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Actually, I have another movie of his in the mail, because I got a book recently that's a history of post-apocalyptic movies. And there's one in there called Cafe Flesh, which is a porno. But everything I read about is like, hey, it's considered one of the best pornos of all time because it's very artful and weird, and it's post-apocalyptic, and there's a lot of weird stuff happening in it. And this guy made it, and then he went on to make this movie, Dr. Caligari, which is apparently also erotic, but considered like a movie and not a porno. Yeah, but Cafe Flesh is apparently amazing. And I'm like, yep, I guess I've gotten to the point in my film collecting where I'm getting a porno. So I don't think it's going to be like that. It sounds like it's going to be a lot weirder. You know, I'm sure there will be sex acts depicted on screen, but it sounds like it's crazy and like weird and sci-fi, you know? So I'm kind of interested to see what it is.
This is my artsy fartsy porn collection.
But just the one. I'm not going to go wild with it. There's people, I mean, you know, Vinegar Syndrome started as that, collector porn.
Ah.
And since they now do everything, they actually opened a sub-label called Melusine, which is that. And I don't really care about that stuff, but like there's people that are all about it. And they like it and whatever. I mean, I definitely see if you're going to watch a bunch of porn, I definitely see wanting to watch stuff that was A, shot on film, and B, like an actual feature-length thing done with a story, and like you actually have characters and stuff. And yeah, there's still a bunch of hot people having sex, whatever. But they really were making a movie, whereas modern porn is just, I have a camera, I'm fucking this girl.
Yeah.
You know, like, which, hey, whatever. It's not like I haven't watched those to, you know, relax. But I do understand the appeal of the older stuff for people, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, a lot of collecting Blu-rays is film preservation. You know, it's important that we keep this stuff. You know, another, what is it, Sony or somebody? Oh, Sony PlayStation. You can, you know, buy movies on Sony PlayStation on their network or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
They just announced they lost one of their licensing deals. So movies that people purchased, not that they rented, are going to be going away.
No.
And that's what it fucking is. And that's why all this shit is evil.
I want my fucking money back then.
Yeah.
If I was told that, like, now I own this and now I don't all of a sudden, well, where's my fucking money? That'd be like if you go buy a movie at the store. Say I went to Night Owl and bought a movie.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, 5 years later, they're at my door and they're like, give me that back. Okay, well, where's the money I paid for it? Well, you don't get it. What? Because you don't own it anymore. What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, screw you. If Aaron shows up to take back my copy of Delicatessen, I'm going to punch him in the dick. But dude, not only is this happening, listen to just a small sampling of the movies that are affected. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Total Recall, First Blood, the first Rainbow movie, The Deer Hunter, Bridget Jones' Diary, Hot Fuzz, From Dusk Till Dawn, Cliffhanger, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Those are all big movies that a lot of people probably own.
Yep.
Or quote-unquote owned through PlayStation Network. And I have some that I bought through the Xbox Network, years and years and years ago. You can download 8 Jason movies for $13 on a Friday the 13th. Okay, cool. But I know that someday it's going to go away, which is why I also have a box set. Yeah?
So how is that not fraud then?
Yeah.
Because you told a bunch of people in a contract that if you pay for this now, you own it, and now they're going back on the contract. So shouldn't they be giving all that money back?
Yeah, but I'm reading the article now. They don't even mention the word refund.
Uh,
But, the thing is there's fine print somewhere that fucks you over.
So they made that, like, it's free money. Free money.
Basically, well, because the thing is like, so they lost a license. So they're not paying, I think it was Studio Canal, whatever studio it was. They're not paying them anymore. And now they get to keep all these people's money. Now, if I bought Terminator 2 for $20 as a download, let's say 5 years ago, I would have gotten my money's worth out of it. I watch that shit all the time. But, like, you still should own it.
Yeah.
Like, when I buy a disc of Terminator 2, I really can watch it all the time, and no one can take that away from me. Unless you literally come to my house, beat the shit out of me, and literally take it away from me.
Yep.
Like I told my dad, this is another argument for me collecting movies. And if people don't understand that, here's another reason why I collect movies. And I said, this is going to keep happening. I think it's going to start happening more.
Yep. Where
these streaming companies just pull the licenses and whatever. And now you don't own a movie that you didn't really ever own, but you thought you owned. So eventually, maybe I should just open a movie house in the post-apocalypse. You know what I mean? You can come over. But basically what I told my dad is like, you know what? They can take my zombie movie from my cold, undead hands.
I mean, them doing that is just going to push people to want to actually go back to analog and, like, physically owning things. That's why Aaron's store is doing really well.
That's probably why Barbarian's finally coming out.
Yeah. Studios are going to realize they need to start doing that again because they're going to be losing money everywhere else.
I think the physical media, it's on the uptick, though. Because I think you're right. I think it's starting to happen.
Mm-hmm. People are not that stupid.
No, they really aren't.
As much as, like, every day when I leave my house, I'm like, God, people are stupid.
Yes.
For the most part, people are not. And they're kind of, like, waking up to how, like, subscriptions are really fucking stupid. Actually owning things makes more sense on a monetary scale. Why are we paying a subscription for fucking everything?
Hey, check this out, though. So I'm, like, Googling stuff as we're talking about it. This article just came out like a week ago for Tech Radar, so it's like a legit website. This guy did an interview with Kath Summersgill, who's a joint group head of sales at Key Production Group, an agency specializing primarily in physical music and packaging manufacturing with vinyl, cassette, and CD. However, the group also works with Blu-ray and video and audio varieties and DVD. And she said, we've seen an increase in Blu-ray sales of over 10,000%, particularly in Blu-ray audio, in the last 8 to 10 years.
10,000%?
Yeah, and I guess there's Blu-ray audio, which I didn't even know about. But yeah, that's amazing.
That's not like, 30%.
Yeah, and she then says, although there was an overall decrease in the physical video format, Blu-ray actually increased by 3% in the last year. That's pretty good. Yeah. And if you read more, 4K Blu-ray sales increased 19.5% last year.
Damn.
The strongest selling disc of the year was Wicked, a disc I regularly use for testing AV equipment. That is all very encouraging. And you know what? You know what, everybody? You're welcome. Listen, I collect movies because I like to collect movies. And I'm not the only Blu-ray collector that thinks this way. There is a tiny sliver of that. There's a tiny sliver of me that says I'm doing this for a capital R reason. And that's the reason.
Yeah.
Because we need to own our own art. We need to own art. We don't need to let companies tell us what art is available, which is what that is.
Yep.
When you buy a digital download of Terminator 2, and then you've had it for however many years, and then Sony's like, well, we don't have it anymore, so you don't actually own it anymore. That's a company telling you what you own. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep going to this example too, but Sam Brown wrote on that cartoon show, Take and Seek, a show my daughter liked. And when that fucking nutcase took over HBO a couple years back, they took it off. And now you cannot watch that show legally anywhere. That not only is shitty to the fans like my daughter who liked the show, but also to Sam and all his friends that he worked on the show with. You know?
Yep. I sent you that photo of those VHS tapes that I got from the coffee shop.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it the first time I went in, but the second time I went in, I look up at the wall, and there's all these old VHS tapes, and then there's like DVDs and stuff. And I thought at first it was just a display. Then I saw, oh, VHS $12 or 2 for $20. And I went, oh shit, these are for fucking sale. And then I was like, whoa, they had the Maltese Falcon.
Wow.
I picked up the Batman and the Beavis and Butthead, a bunch of other things.
Oh shit, we mentioned Batman. Way to go, Shandi. We almost made it. You dumbass. I don't know, whatever. No, that's great.
But it was a really good condition, and the owner was there, some French guy, and he was like, oh, you actually want to buy those? And I was like, well, you have pricing. But then, of course, he tells me, like, the ones at the top are not 2 for $20. I was like, well, I only brought 20 because that's what your pricing says. You need to change that. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And he felt bad. He let me have one of the VHS tapes for free. We started talking about movies, but it's like, just that interaction, I'm not getting that on a digital download.
Right.
I'm not getting that interaction and that conversation. And we actually talked about having things and it's tangible and I can touch it and feel it. And I own it now, which is so important. It's so important to have. Because I don't really like people, but I like talking to people about movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, like, you know, like I don't like you, but I like talking to you about movies.
That should be the opening of this episode. I don't really like you, but I like talking about movies.
Anyways, this was a great random ass fucking soapbox at the end of our episode, but it works out. Anyways, thank you to Jordan Cooper for making our theme song. Thank you to Trevor LeGarrette for doing the cool stop motion video. And thank you to Claude Rains for surprising Shandi with your handsomeness.
Thank you. Love it.
What's the social media deets?
Please join us on our social media. We're on Instagram at Earnful of Popcorn. We are... That's the only social media we have.
That's fine. What do we want to go on Twitter and argue with Nazis? Fuck it.
No, and I don't want to be on the TikTok either.
Ugh.
Oof. You can listen to our episodes on our website, earnfulofpopcorn.com. You can listen to it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on all that stuff, wherever podcasts are available. And if you want to throw us a couple bucks, we have a Patreon. It's $2.99 a month. And yeah, we share stuff there. Sometimes when we're not busy, we do stuff. And we all talk about movies and share movies on there, which is fun. So do that if you want to.
It's a good group.